Welcome to South Florida. Welcome to South Florida. Welcome to South Florida. The bottom of the clip of the gunshine state. Ha. What them boys still boating in that way. Big plate. Get it for the 18 if you straight. Get cake. And stop hating, it's the motto of the state. Ha. A lot of fakes, but it's still real around here. That foreign talk, that can get you killed down here. Niggas better learn the lingo, cause they'll be looking for you in that water finding Nemo. See, Palm Beach County be the craziest. Them Broward County niggas be the craziest. And them Dade County niggas be the wildest. Shout out to Belle Glaze and my niggas at Fort Myers. Salute to all my Florida boys out here on the grind. When niggas out here getting dough with that snow and the sunshine. Ducking nine, waiting at the port to bring in that order. Cause niggas like the pen on what come across that water. Welcome to South. I was born in the South, raised in the South. A Dade County nigga that was made in the South.
Yo, what's good? What's good? We got 25 in here. Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe button. We at what, 22.3K? Shout out to y'all, man. I know it's been a little while. We back. We are a week away from spring football. So we gonna come. We've been seeing a lot of people, giving their 2 cents about spring position battles and things of that nature. So we're gonna give y'all some intel, some insights. We got X with us. Street gonna pull up, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the crew.
We'll throw in our little 2 cents, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody trying to throw in some cents. We'll throw in ours, man.
Of course.
It's crazy. Spring is here. Like, we just ended the season, man. That's crazy.
But you know what? I like it because it makes I'm one of those people, like, when football is over, like, my life be like kind of fucked up a little bit because I don't be having nothing to do on the weekends like that. Maybe I'm just at that age, but it's like I'm like, man. So when like stuff like the combine, the draft, XFL, I be watching that shit religiously because I'm like, man, I ain't got nothing else to do. Like when this NCAA 2000, what is EA Sports Football, college football come out in June? Oh, it's over with. I'm set for the next 3 months. Well, 2 months because we start August 31st. So I'm good after that. So
yeah, no BS. Yeah, because it's nothing. No. I mean, it's
the
basketball,
Olympics,
man, but we know basketball don't have the same excitement as football. You know what I'm saying? Football excitement is from the first game to the last game. Basketball, you gotta wait to February, March Madness.
And then college basketball don't have the same.
The Canes basketball team, man. What the? Hey, we sacrificed the Canes basketball team for the good of the football team.
We can't have them go for 2 seasons.
I'm with it. Sacrifice that team, man, so we can get it done at the stadium.
Small price to pay, right? But now, basically what we're gonna do is we'll go through the depth chart. We see y'all questions. We highlighting the questions. We're gonna save them towards the end. We're gonna give our 2 cents about what we feel about the season coming up. Jay is pinging Street in the comments. It's not me. You see me here. Hey, you know what time it is. But hey, but yeah, we're gonna go through it. Tonight we're only doing offense. We'll do defense Thursday. Defense Thursday. Because we have the space on Wednesday.
Yeah. And then practice is on Monday. So we'll probably give y'all something after Monday. I mean on Monday after the first day of practice anyway.
You gonna be in the building?
Of course.
All right, so y'all make sure y'all hit that like button because X gonna be in the building, Street gonna be in the building, give you live and in color, some in-depth commentary. We'll start seeing some of those rumblings are true that we're hearing about, like guys like JoJo, things like that, and then we'll go from there. So let's get into it, man. Start for quarterback. I think it's pretty clear. I can give you 1.5 million reasons why. Cam Ward will more likely be the starter.
Say 1.2, 1.2.
Oh,
Give me
okay,
the right
one
number,
one
1.2.
1.2 million reasons why.
We're gonna leave the 300 out.
When you're doing autograph signings by yourself and at the team store and all that stuff, like yeah, it's pretty obvious. They paid you to be here for a season, so I think that's pretty much a given. But who would you say is probably uh, the guy that will probably be most likely taking snaps in your eyes behind Cam Ward?
Man, right now I'm going to go. It's kind of even with Jakari and Reese. It's kind of even. So the funny thing is remember the last 2 years we kept saying it's hard to grade Jakari because they not allowing him to be live.
Mm-hmm.
I think this season, this spring, they have to let him go live because you just want to see him what he can do as a quarterback completely. You know what I'm saying? If you saying don't hit him when that's his best aspect is him to run, be mobile and stuff like that, then it kind of leaves him out the battle. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I think they have to. I mean, you don't want to hit the quarterback, but I think we in a good space where we'll, let him get hit a couple times.
Okay.
So I think Reese and
So
Jakari, they both equal. Um, and then we'll see who comes out of that battle. And then you got Judd there. Emery, he should be back for spring also.
okay, and then straight, it's a great pivot for me, but straight from the job site, from the work site, that boy bonded himself on Cam. KB,
What's going on? What's going on, fellas?
chilling, man. You came right on time, man. We talking about who we expect to be the backup. Obviously, we know who the starter is most likely going to be. Who do you expect to be the backup in regards to um the backup quarterback behind Cam Ward?
Oh, for me it's JB. I think we all kind of aware that JB, had Cam not come, JB probably is going into spring as the number one guy. So it's gonna be JB, which is great. You know what I'm saying? Not just because it's JB, but because you kind of have quarterbacks with kind of similar styles. Um, JB is trying to get to Cam Ward, but it's an easier transition to go from, let's say, if Cam goes down, then I can bring in JB because we might have some of the same stuff going on. To whereas if I had a pocket guy and then had to bring in JB, now I got to make adjustments. So yeah, I got JB as my number two.
Interesting that you say that. It's more similarities with Cam and Reese though,
Right.
because as I explained earlier, I think if you want to see a full assessment of what JB can do, you have to allow him to be a live quarterback, a live target. Because in practice, the defense is saying, okay, well, we can't hit the quarterback, so we're not even finna go at him like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now you only expecting him to be a throwing quarterback, which is not his game. But if you allow him to be live where he can improvise, that's his game, which makes him able to do what the other guys can't do. So that's why I say it's kind of 50-50 at the moment. You just got to see if they allow any live contact with quarterbacks. That could tell you who's going to be the second guy, to be honest.
I think more so too. I know some, even us in here, we were upset about Shikari and kind of how that whole thing went down with Cam, but I don't think there's a I think this is about as similar as it was, with Tyler sitting behind a Derek King. I think is a fantastic example, and even more so because this is what it's supposed to look like. Cam Ward is what it's supposed to look like. I think sitting behind someone like that and developing and learning and having those nuances. If they got any, off-field drama, I hope they get over it. I get it, but we definitely got to see a situation and a circumstance where he's going to take that opportunity to sit behind him one more year. You know he's gonna be here for 1 year because he's trying to get to the league, and this is last year eligibility. You learn behind all three of them, all three of y'all, as Birdman would say. Um, and let the cream rise to the top next summer, for 25 or next spring. But I don't think it's a bad situation. As I've had time to kind of mull on it, it looks even better for him if he gets the opportunity. All three of them get an opportunity to sit behind a proven guy who's done it at multiple levels. If you're Reese Poffenbarger, you're looking at him and saying like, "Hey, this guy had a similar trajectory as me, right? Started at a lower level of football, came up, did his thing." If it's Jakari, you're like, "Hey, this guy looks like me, right? Mobile quarterback, can improvise on the run, has a cannon for an arm." And then someone like someone like Emery, who doesn't necessarily have the same tools per se, or the same trajectory as Reese and Jakari, but he can just come in and say, "Hey, I got an opportunity to learn, and there are guys who on paper should be better than me. I have an opportunity to at least prove a lot of the doubters wrong, and maybe take a Malik Rozier type position heading in when it seems like there's an incumbent starter, but I can still do my thing and hopefully get healthy and figure it out." So I look at it as a win-win. I don't look at it as a bad thing. I think it's going to be something where the offense is going to have an opportunity to blossom. Um, and I don't feel like it's a huge drop off if, knock on wood, if for some reason something were to happen. I don't think it's a huge drop off because all of them have played in a game, had opportunities to win games. You know what I'm saying? Has had those moments, and while they had their struggles, they all had the opportunity to do their thing. Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, live from the live from the
Motherland.
we'll go with that. We'll go with Motherland, man. Street, man.
What's going
Real
on?
real quick, X, before you get your thought off, man. We ain't talking quarterbacks. We're talking offense.
Uh-huh.
We know 1.2 million reasons why Cam Ward is going to be the starter. But give us your
Right.
thoughts about who you see as the backup, or how you see that position battle happening as we are a week away from spring.
I think it's no doubt in my mind is Ja'Cory. I think Ja'Cory is the backup. I think he's proven to us that in one game, he's capable of being the guy that should have been ahead of Emery. Um, but I'm here to tell you, I mean, Ja'Cory doesn't see himself as anybody backup. I mean, they're gonna have to tell him to sit down. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how it should be. I think things should be competition. I think that's what pushes players and that's what breeds players. So yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that it should be Ja'Cory. Now that the air is clear and everybody knows he's not trying to transfer or he's not being pump faked or whatever hell was going on last year.
So if he's your number two, who do you got behind him? Reese or
Yeah,
Emery?
I think it's Emery. I
No
think it's
familiarity with
Emery.
Well, are we,
Emery.
are we talking
Yeah.
spring though, Medi? Or we talking spring
We,
or
yeah,
overall?
we going to talk
Yeah, we
spring because
just we
things
basically
don't
just
happen.
talking spring. Keep it spring
Okay.
because some of these guys we start
Okay.
naming might not be here after spring. So you just keep it spring.
We just saw
Okay.
Because
what
I was
we
just
just
gonna
saw who
say
that
because
5-star safety from Texas A&M. He said, "I'm not even staying for spring." He said, "As soon as that window open, I'm out."
Yeah.
now I just said it because Emery's not going to be ready for spring, correct?
No, Emery's gonna be. I think he'll come in later on in spring. I don't know if he's gonna be ready for the first week. They didn't send us no report,
Okay.
but he's working out and stuff like that.
All right.
You got any
Better
other injury
talk about it.
updates? Akeem, Najee.
Mesidor's good to go. Hakeem, I mean, no, Mesidor's good to go. Najee Kelly, I haven't heard anything, but I
He got
tried
to
to
be
reach
on
out.
his. What is he, a true junior?
Well, redshirt
Oh, he
sophomore.
rushed. Yeah, he lost a year. That room is getting heavy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent entering that room. I've heard. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. I mean, on Thursday, but that room is getting heavy. So
Yes. I mean, the offensively, the only injuries are Francis is the
Mount.
offense. That's the offensive lineman, right? Francis or okay, Francis is the offensive
Yeah,
lineman.
Francis.
He's the one. Not gonna participate for spring.
He's not participating.
Yeah, he probably most because he just had a shoulder surgery. Just had a shoulder surgery to clean some stuff
Oh,
up.
really? Okay.
Is shoulder surgery like default? Like, do they all fucking get shoulder surgery? Is that like par for the course? They like
within playing the football, working out in the weight room and doing all that, sometimes man they get labor torns and stuff in they shoulder, and they play through it. You can play through it, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes after the season, you just get the surgery. So I guess that's a UM thing because we've been having that for years.
It's a physical position, man. You gotta contort your body to a person running full speed, you know what I'm saying? Set your feet. It's a lot. So I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure Zion did the same thing. I'm pretty sure what's my man name that played guard too?
Who?
He coming back.
Talk about Inez Cooper.
McCoy.
No, not Cooper. Who?
McCoy.
No, not McCoy. On the left side.
Guard?
He plays guard as well, but he was
Oh, talk about Jalen Rivers.
Jalen Rivers. That's what I'm thinking about.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he had the same thing as well. So yeah, I think that's pretty much a standard. But while we out there, like let's go to the offensive line. Probably one of the, from many people's accounts, probably one of the most solid offensive lines, if not just the SEC, probably in the country.
Yeah, man. After I put the names out there today on Twitter, I realized we kind of deep in offensive line. I didn't know we was that deep, and we still ain't got. I think 2 guys coming in from the freshmen in summertime. We kind of deep at offensive line.
Yeah, what was it Franco Villa and
You said we deep X?
Yeah, we deep at offensive. I mean, okay, we got the numbers. We got the numbers. I ain't gonna say we deep. Still don't got the game experience.
Oh, okay. So why do you say deep? Deep, when you think deep, you mean like you got a guy behind the guy.
Okay, so offensive line. There's only 5 offensive linemen, right? To have a deep offensive line, you need 14 to 16 guys. To have a deep offensive line, saying you have a first unit, a second unit, then you can rotate 3 to 4 players after that.
All right, so let's break it down. Left tackle, we're assuming the start is going to be Jalen Rivers. For a large part of the summer, well, I guess the winter, technically, I assumed that one of the younger guys would step up to that slot and he would move back to guard. But I think has that since been debunked that he's gonna most likely be a right tackle or left tackle, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean they'll start him out at left tackle until Sampson, Matthew McCoy, or Marquise Bell ready to take the left spot. He's going to be the left tackle.
Okay, and then at his backup second string, we got Zion Nelson, but we spoke ad nauseum on the show.
We're not going to add Zion. We're going to keep Zion.
We're not counting him.
Yeah, we're not going to add Zion name because that's crazy. I mean, so the 2 names we're not going to put up there is Zion Nelson and Jonathan Dennis. I was amazed. I didn't even know Jonathan Dennis was still at the school. I thought he was gone.
I thought he was gone.
I thought he was I thought he was transferred also, but he tweeted today that he's still with the team, and I'm like, okay, my bad.
Wait a minute, you made him tweet that, or he just happened to do
himself. It? He tweeted that because somebody asked, no Jonathan Dennis, and he came out and said, still a Kane recovering from injury. I'm like, oh damn, I'm thinking he gone.
This is funny because one of my people, shout out to my source, I ain't gonna say who it is, but my source literally just texted me and said that Rivers might go back inside. It all depends on Jalen. Is Jalen? What's my man name? Markel, not Jalen. Markel Bell. If Markel Bell is ready, the JUCO transfer, 6'8", 3 something, then he moves to probably starting left tackle. But if not, Jalen will stay.
I think it's one of those things where they normally do say your best 5 players So it just depends on who the best 5 is, and the fact that we got, especially with Jalen's versatility, it's gonna make it best 5. Or so if it's Bell, he can go inside. If it's Sampson, he can go inside. If it's Kinsler, he stay outside. So it's just gonna be whoever you think the best 5 is, and that should have fall into place.
But it's a good problem to have.
Right.
Great problem.
So who the 5X?
It's a good problem to have, and then it's a bad problem to have, because now if you say, okay, well, we have 4, say you got 4 good offensive linemen, and then you have a possible one that's you could play. Now you only got those 5 offensive linemen. The other backups you're saying was those guys not ready. You know what I'm saying? So Marquise Bell, I love him, 6'8", 6'8.5". I don't think he's a left tackle because his feet isn't fast enough for to be a left tackle.
So you think he a guard?
He's either a guard or he's a right tackle. He can't be a left tackle.
Right.
We got a right-handed quarterback. That spells disaster.
Do we know is Cam Ward a left-handed or a right-handed quarterback?
He's right. He's right-handed.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So
just look at it like this: the three guys who started for spring. Even though Francis won't be here for spring, so you can look at either McCoy or Sampson being that right tackle. You got Jalen Rivers, Arnaz Cooper, Zach Carpenter. We pretty much know he's going to start. He just came in. He's going to start.
He's a red shirt.
The guy who they keep mentioning a lot is Tommy Kinsler.
Yeah, Big Bruno. That's what I want to see. I want to see him take a step.
He's another big, huge body, and they saying he could play guard, which is what he's going to play. He's going to play guard.
Yeah, he's not a tackle.
So who's the 5? Do we know? Or
so if I don't go with Francis, I'll say Jalen at left, Kinsler at left guard, Zach Carpenter at center, Arnaz Cooper at right guard, and then Matt McCoy or Sampson at right tackle.
Starting?
Yeah.
For spring.
Yeah.
Spring.
You comfortable with Sampson?
I was gonna ask you, is he healthy?
He's ready. He's good to go for spring. I think when we seen him at guard was the hold on, he can't do it at guard. Maybe at tackle, that's where he belongs.
Yeah,
he's super athletic.
Yeah, maybe at tackle, because at guard he couldn't do it. They was killing him at guard, like he just couldn't do it. But at tackle, that's where he belongs.
What's that look on your face, Cal? Cal, what's that look on your face, though? Huh?
No. I was just gonna say at right tackle, he gonna line up next to Cam McCormick, so he gonna be solid anyway. No worries, we good.
The elder statesman.
No worries.
Why would just put Cam McCormick at tackle? Fuck it. Hey, we ain't used the video, but listen, Sampson. Sampson seemed to struggle last year. I spent some time with him off the field, you know what I'm saying? But to me, what I got out of it was that he was adapting to college football. So I don't know. I think the jury's still out there.
You got to think, Street. They said that they were on the fence about him even being a 5-star because of the talent he played in Connecticut and Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. And then when he got to the All-Star game, that's what kind of validated it because he was showing out. But once again, that was just high school seniors. Yeah, when it came down to college,
which is why I said put him on the right side, because if you have a right-handed quarterback, they can see that coming a lot faster than the blind side. Remember, everybody had him projected as a left tackle, and I was like, well, I don't know, man, because
it was opposite though. He didn't show out at the All-American game, right? That's when he kind of got exposed.
I thought they said he did.
No. The first day he got exposed, and then the second, third, and fourth day is when he picked it up, and they were like, okay, yeah,
he kind of picked it up, right? Mm-hmm. So, any position battles though, X? What's the battle there? Like,
anybody battle for spring, or you talk about just for? I mean, okay, so we talk to spring only, right?
Yeah.
The position battle is going to basically be left guard and right tackle.
Okay, who you got batting at left guard? What is that?
So left guard you have you got Kinsler, Matt McCoy, Logan Sagapola, Markeith Bell, Tripp, Antonio Tripp.
I thought Tripp was a center.
I mean, look, he gonna put the best players on the field. It's just a battle. And then at right tackle you have Sampson. You got Matt McCoy, Bell, Derek Plass, the true freshman, Frankie Tenelou. He's with the team now.
Frankie.
Yeah, so again, like I say, we still got guys who haven't even gotten to campus yet.
Yep.
So
it's showing Wamanaya and Nico Francavilla are both on campus.
Who?
Wamanaya and Nico Francavilla.
Wamanaya. Oh, that's the freshman?
Yeah, they're both freshmen.
Yeah, I don't think he's on campus yet. He's not on campus yet.
Oh, Derek Plaza is on campus either?
Plaza is on campus.
Okay. Okay, so
so those are the battles that we have.
Yeah, those
how
are the
do y'all
battles.
feel real fast before we move from O-line, Medi? Like, how do y'all feel about these O-line names, man? Give me a grade. A, B, C, D. How y'all feel about the O-line as a whole going into spring?
As a whole, that means not the starters. You talking about everybody.
As a whole, yeah.
I would call this a solid B.
What about you, X?
You gave it. You said a B, Manny?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an A, man, because I feel if they evaluate O-line how they evaluate Arnaz Cooper, then I'm happy.
Kyle, what you think, man?
You said going into spring, right? Just going in, not the season.
Yeah, going into spring.
Yeah, I still got a B.
So we was an A+ last year, X? The offensive lineman got stronger?
You say the lineman got no? I don't think we got stronger. I think we got bigger, a lot bigger, and more athletic.
You think so? Okay. What you think, Kyle?
Let's take it to the chat.
I'm gonna go with X. I'm gonna run with an A. I just trust Mirabal and Cristobal's development and talent evaluation, bro. I can't go against that. And I do think we was A+ last year. My personal opinion.
Okay, hold up, Kane fans. Let's get this straight. My Kane fans up here on the panel with me. So we lost. Who we lost? We lost
Matt Lee,
Javion Cohen, and Matt Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So we lost the leader of the offensive line, and we lost the best. We lost the best guy on the offensive line, which I thought was going to hurt us. And y'all saying we still in the A range.
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay,
so you lose Matt Lee, right? You lose Matt Lee, which was the most important part of the offensive line, right?
Yeah.
Zach Carpenter is probably, I'm not going to say he's better than Matt Lee, but he's probably
he's bigger. I'll give him that.
He's bigger than more athletic.
Okay.
So the one issue is now you're saying who's going to be Javion Cohen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Kinsler is bigger than Javion Cohen. He's way bigger. Like, he ain't even close how big he is. He's about 6'8".
I hear you on that, X. Where I push back at is that we seen Javion at 2 P5s get it done. Like, he showed up as a redshirt. Like, he has the size. I'm not taking that from him at all. I'm saying he hasn't actually done it at this level yet. Whereas Javion, in some case, depending on who you talk to, I think the grades came out better. He actually had a better season at Miami. But in theory, depending on the subjective college fan, they might say going from Alabama to Miami might have been a downgrade program-wise. And we saw him just dominate. And then he goes to the Senior Bowl and does his thing too. So that's why I have a B, because even with Tommy Kinsler, I'm still waiting to see when Matt McCoy is going to show up, because Matt McCoy and Isaiah Royal, who I'll talk about in a second, the same type of guys that I hear are like, like you hear about them, but you never really see them. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah, obviously because of injury, but Matt McCoy, he never really gets that fair shake because he has some talented guys in front of him. So I'm waiting for his emergence. You know what I'm saying?
And Cal, you just saying that. Yeah, Cal, you just saying that Mario ain't gonna let the O line fail. That's what you're saying. they basically that's where we're gonna be strong at year in and year out. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And I think McCoy was a pretty integral part of the line. You know what I'm saying? Even last year,
great rotation
he
piece.
came in. Yeah, he was great. He was like a 6 man, like the 6 man on a basketball team, and he did great. He got bucked in the, not cursed, but he got bucked in the bowl game. For some reason, somebody wanted to start their nephew. I was confused about that one. So we didn't really get to see him. We didn't get to see all of what we needed to see from him or whatever. But they've been talking about him for 2 years, and I think again, Mario don't know what they're talking about. So I'm a rock with it.
Rich, you about 2 position groups in too deep, but
yo,
real quick, man. Like while you in here, let's
move it on, Matty.
Okay,
catch on the next one.
All right, yeah.
You want to get a grade from him? I don't know if he heard all of that.
Yeah, we'll get an O-line grade based on what you got, Rich, because you were tweaking our internal depth chart. What would you grade this offensive line if you had to give it a letter grade going into spring? Just spring, not the rest of the season.
I mean, just from the offensive center not being different this year, I'm gonna have to go with like a C+. Because yeah, I'm gonna be harsh with it because you gotta the O-line is the position where you gotta gel together. So, we'll see what it looks like in spring, and then we can elevate that grade going further to see what those pieces look like together.
Okay. So there's definitely some diversity in our grading going in this season. But that's good. That's why we do this. You know what I'm saying? So let's move on to tight end. And Kyle's favorite player.
Kyle say why we talk about tight ends like they finna get the ball thrown around.
Good point.
Hey, but tight end is very intriguing now because now you have a healthy Arroyo, you have a healthy Riley Williams, you have an old senior citizen in
old man Cam.
You have
leave Uncle alone, man.
What's the guy? I keep forgetting. What is it? Jackson. You got Jackson Carver, and then you have Elijah Lofton,
who we are hearing very good things about. That last name.
Yeah, he's going to play. He's going to play. He's going to play.
I don't think we had a weapon like that since
Brevin Jordan left.
Yeah. And I would be remiss to say that if he didn't do what he did in the playoffs, but yeah,
he might wouldn't know if we had one or not. Like we wouldn't know. Shit.
Nah, we haven't. We ain't had one since. we ain't had one since Brevin Jordan. See, the thing with Lofton is they're gonna be able to move Lofton all over the field. He won't just be playing tight end. He won't just.
He's gonna be like an H-back.
He's gonna be all over the field. You can have even moment where it might not even be no running backs in the field, and they say, Lofton, you the running back in the backfield, and we're gonna throw it to you.
I'm telling you, dog, when I saw him against Miami Central, I said, and like I said, I saw how his commitment went. I thought we were gonna lose him. I knew other schools were talking to him, but that is the definition of a we call it a pocket knife. Swiss Army knife, is that the term? Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knife. That's what he has the potential to be. And so if I'm a tight end in that room, whether it's old man Cam, Elijah, like, yeah, y'all better get on your job, y'all A game, because I don't think Lofton showed up here to really take a backseat to anybody. And we know Mario gonna play a freshman if they give you a chance to win. So let the chips fall where they may, right? I've been waiting for Jackson Carver to show up, man. From a physicality standpoint, he looked like he got it. Lacrosse player, 2-sport athlete. I'm waiting for the light to go off.
He's still trying to turn into a complete football player. He's still young at the sport.
Yeah.
even when he came last year, they needed to put some weight because he was still like a tall guy. He was just basically like 6'5", maybe 220. You know what I'm saying? So with that size body playing that position, you kind of want to get into like at least 240.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To be that tall.
Yeah.
Because as you know, Kyle's gonna say they gonna put you on the offensive line to block. So you can't be 6'5", 220 in the offensive line trying to block. They gonna, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think I don't think he plays much this year. I think the three guys who are going to play are going to be Arroyo, Riley, and Lofton, and then of course the senior citizen going to play. We need somebody to block sometimes. So.
If they're willing to look, here's my thing. If they're willing to be versatile with it and give, like obviously if it's running downs, cool. But if you're gonna be versatile, like if you're gonna put him out there as a distraction, if you're gonna put out there to chip, run chip routes, you know what I'm saying, chip block, get out there for a quick little, out or something like that for a first down in a short situation because Cam can improvise, cool, but just don't make it painstakingly obvious, right? Like when he's out there, like the whole stadium can't know, hey, we about to run the ball. I understand he's good at running the ball, at blocking, at run blocking. Goal line, I get it. Absolutely understand. But yeah, kind of like what Kyle was alluding to, if Shannon has the freedom of the offense like we say he does, give him the opportunity to scheme up things where you may not be considering Cam in the game because what you put on film the last week. Now he's out there, I ain't asking him to run no deep routes downfield, run no post corners or no deep, deep outs. I don't need you doing that. I just need you to at least make it manageable, right? At least get into a position where it's like, all right, cool. Let me, chip, roll out, get a quick little snack for a first down, get down on the ground, and then you could possibly spread it back out again and give opposing defense something to think about. That's all I care about. I don't care if he gets on the field. I really don't. Just make it worthwhile. Don't waste snaps from other people if you're just gonna not even use the position in the right way. That's all I care about. And if Shannon really got control like we're hearing, I expect to see that. So,
so I want to make a comment and ask a question. My comment is this: Medi just said everything that needed to be said. Like, you use the guys. Don't just make it so obvious or make it so simple. Like, how hard is it to run a two tight end? Like, if you want to play McCormick, fine. How hard is it to make him be in a two tight end set where you split Lofton wide? So now you got three receivers. We don't know what you're doing. Same thing with Arroyo. I'm sure you can split Arroyo wide as well. Sometimes you can split them wide, split them to the far side, and bring Jacoby in the middle and let him work somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that complicated. It's not that hard. But my question was to X. X, do you think that the lack of tight end use was due more to what Dawson was scheming, or the fact that TVD just didn't look for everybody? Because I saw plays where guys were open, like tight ends were open. They didn't run too far, and people were like, well, why would you throw it to Cam McCormick? And I understand it, but I have a point guard mentality. I got to make everybody a threat. So if I can throw him an easy 5, I'm going to throw him an easy 5. But do you think that was more TVD, or do you think it was more Dawson?
Well, from what I was told, they didn't trust the tight ends at all last year. This is from what I was told.
in what aspect? Receiving or blocking?
Receiving. They didn't trust them receiving because they said even in games where they did it, passes weren't caught, routes weren't run the right way, even in practice. So they didn't have much trust in the tight ends. And the only tight end we had that was healthy the whole season was Cameron Corbett. So just look at him running his routes, and it's like, shit, damn, he running a 3-yard route, but it took him damn near 10 seconds to run a 3-yard route. Okay,
So here's my thing: is that a slight on Cristobal's boy who we brought in? Because I'll be honest, I don't watch tight end play enough to or evaluate it enough to know, but I've heard people say since Fields left, it's been a drop off. Would you agree with that sentiment?
I agree. I totally agree. I don't know what was the fascination from giving him the on-field job.
You know what it was, X. He was a damn lineman coach. They want the tight ends to block.
I mean, again, both Fields and Waddle was at Oregon with Mario. So,
what you about to say, Rich?
No, that same thing KB said. I mean, that particular coach who coaches tight ends now, I mean, he's an offensive lineman. He's an offensive line coach. So that's going to teach your tight ends how to block. It's not necessarily going to teach them how to run routes.
Do we know why Fields left from Miami? Because I don't think he got fired at Oregon.
No. Fields, they wanted him to be recruiting. Yeah, they just Mario wanted him to be in recruiting primarily. Why? I'm not sure. Like if you do, I understand upgrading from Fields, like a clear, obvious upgrade. So like we discussed it the other day, if you went out and got James Coley to come coach tight ends and do some other slash, okay, I get that. You know what I'm saying? Or if you went and got whoever, Tim Brewster, I don't know all these guys' names, but if you went and got a clear upgrade, I get it. But you went and got this guy who, yeah, the jury's still out, but like, who is he to come in that you say, damn, I got to get Fields in the recruitment so I can get this guy on the field? Who is this guy? I didn't understand that at all. And they have been trying to get Fields off the field for 2 years. Now, I really don't understand why. What?
Michael,
they like Fields in the recruiting department a lot more than him being on the field.
Well, I was going to ask something. Who is Lofton's primary recruiter? Was it Cody Whittier?
No.
Who was it?
Mario. Well, I mean, I guess if you want to say Coach Whittle, but Mario was basically his primary guy.
So that's my follow-up question. Like, if a guy, we sit here and we'll drop a die on his head because of development and recruiting prowess, right? Recruiting wasn't there. He missed on some guys 2 years in a row. We're now hearing stories from guys like Kane, from guys like BMAC about they just kind of over the college football recruiting landscape. Because it is a lot. I ain't gonna hold you, but now we're seeing a situation where guys are transitioning into the same type of issues we saw with a die. Are we working to get them out of there now too? Like does what I mean when I say this is Woody will have the same 2-year leash, we'll call it. Because regardless of what happened, people would say like at least a die put 2 guys in the league. Granted, one of them he coached from high school, you know what I'm saying, with Stevenson. The other guy, he made him into a 7th round draft pick. And Jay White's favorite player, y'all know what I'm talking about. Anywho, so does Woodio get the same leash? Because I don't see any. Maybe the only draft eligible tight end really is who? Old man Cam. And he been in college for 15 years.
Then the other one, he barely played. So, yeah. Well, the one thing about the Canes, Miami coaches, they get like 2 or 3 year contract deals, stuff like that. So he's probably on a 2-year deal. Well, he has to prove himself. Year 1 was a failure for him. So I guess this is his this is his make or break year right here for him, man. I mean, I don't know. That was just strange because, for one, I always felt like Miami could hire anybody as a tight end coach, and the tight end is going to be good regardless. But then last year, I felt like shit that could be possibly far from the truth because our tight ends ain't doing
We never
nothing.
saw that. We never saw that. So, I can't. We've never saw that. We've never saw a tight end room that gave us nothing. We never saw that.
Rich, what you think? Do you think he gets the same leash as a die?
No, I don't think so. I think a die coming in, and this is going to sound crazy, but sometimes you go into a job and everybody knows how well respected you are for what you've done, and that could sometimes be intimidating as much as somebody who's bad at their job. So with a die, I think there was always a not a narrative, but a feeling of guys are going to move on at some point. So it is what it is. You got to kind of prepare for his replacement. With this guy, I really do think that Woodill's whole deal was the fact that he was an offensive line coach, and he was brought in to help with turning our tight ends into blocking tight ends. But I personally think that experiment is failing. It's going to continue to fail because that's not how the game is played nowadays. And the one thing that we have to worry about if we see, especially the first couple games of the season, if we see our tight ends are not getting the ball, we're going to have to think about what tight ends are going to be in the transfer portal, because obviously this is what tight ends want to do. Yes, they want to block, and that is their primary objective when, tight end, H-back, that sort of thing. But where tight ends really make money nowadays is catching the football. So they're going to have to figure that one out. They're going to work with Coach KB more, and the wide receivers, or what they're going to do in order to make sure that they're running the routes that they want them to run within that offense, and figure out how they're going to help them with catching the football. So
I mean,
that's on them.
At the end of the day, I still feel like Woody has a job to do. Y'all forget Mario was here as a tight end coach at some point. He was here as a tight end coach. He brought in two of the better tight ends that before he left the Rutgers, he brought in two of the better tight ends that the school has seen in some recent years. So right. I get it, right? He actually coached them, cradle to the grave, but and then they still got to coach the position. Like,
you got to
coach. Yeah, offensive line coach or not, you better figure this shit out. Read some YouTube videos, go to some clinics. I don't know, but you got to figure it out, because I'm not giving you the same leash. If after this season, we're not at least looking at, let me not say an all conference guy, but with as much talent as we have on that field, you should be able to put a guy into at least a conversation for all conference. I'm not even talking about first team, second team. I'm talking about honorable mention is a reach, right? Because tight end, we know the position is not fancy, it's not glorified, and you got guys like Brennan Stool, up at Clemson, who's going to do his thing. There's going to be and guys that we not mentioning and looking at. I think the Bartholomew kid is still at Pitt. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be guys that are going to be better, but you need to have at least somebody in the conversation, somebody in that room. We know it's not going to be Cam McCormick. We know that. They don't give an all conference for blocking. That's just not a thing, right? You got to have some offensive prowess. But with a quarterback like that and spreading them out and giving them weapons, you got to be able to produce something. Got to, or you got to go, brother. Like
again, I'm gonna say this. He has his. I don't know exactly if it's a 2-year or 3-year thing with him. But you can say if the team is successful, say the team is 10 plus wins, that's a successful season. Mario is always going to look at the weakest link of the staff and try to bring in something. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing I do know is he does, like, if Mario wants the guy to work 24/7, he's going to work 24/7. So that's the plus that he probably wants to stay in Miami.
No, I get it now, and we're agreeing with the villains. I see some people in the chat saying, what type of talent did we have before? And you're 100% correct. When Mario got here, was Mallory still here?
Yeah.
Mallory. It was Mallory.
Mario, he got hurt again.
That's all we had.
Mallory was hurt. Mallory
and Brantley.
Brantley was here.
Mallory, Brantley, Mama Rally. Yeah, so the tight end room was kind of thin.
Yeah, it was. So now we got all this talent in there. So we got to make something shake now. I mean, because we got the talent. Last year we had Skinner on the roster, and I know his hands was questionable, right? But we had him on the roster. We had Arroyo came back from injury, right? So we had some guys, but we did not use those guys at all.
Yeah,
now
Arroyo,
we have even more guys.
even though Arroyo came back, he just wasn't ready. I think they should have set him
Okay.
down the whole season. And then Riley Williams, he was too immature. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't know college football. You know what I'm saying? To throw him out there like that, I kind of think it was like
he had some moments. I ain't gonna hold you. That's it.
We ain't had no other choice because we ain't had nobody else.
Yeah, but he had some moments. I'll give him that. Maybe he had some things he did, but he did have some moments. I would definitely give him that.
Yeah,
From top to bottom.
Skinner couldn't get on the field. It wasn't because of blocking. It was because Skinner just wasn't catching the ball. So
No, I feel you. But from top to bottom, when you talk about pass catchers, I feel like, but I know we had more pass catchers last season than we had in the previous season. Even if you had to slide Isaiah Horton in as a tight end, not to block, but to catch, you know what I'm saying? Or the guy who left for Georgia, who had the size but weren't necessarily played that position.
Young,
even if you had to do that.
You want to put the softest guy at tight end?
Look, check this out. Let me address that. Everybody keep talking about the room. At the end of the day, let's look at the room for what it is, right? If I gave you at least three, I gave you at least 3 4-star tight ends. Yeah. Arroyo played a little bit. I get it. You know what I'm saying? He played a little bit. I still gave you Jaleel Skinner. I still gave you Riley Williams. I'm asking you to do something. The thing is, we're not saying, hey, that room should have been all ACC. We're not saying it should have been all honorable mention. We're saying they should have had more than 4 or 5 catches. You know what I'm saying? We're saying you should have been able to give us something. Because if I gave you 3 or 4 4-star tight ends, hell, I gave Coach Kevin Beard a fucking JUCO kid who had no offers coming out of high school. I gave you a 3-star in Restrepo, and I gave you whatever Jacoby George was. You know what I'm saying? A lot more talent left that receiver room than actually stayed. And look what we got out of the receiver room. I'm not saying the talent was equal, but I'm just saying I gave you 3 or 4 4-star tight ends, and I didn't get anything from you. Nothing, bro. Nothing.
I think we looked it up. Would they have like less than 17 catches collectively? Or something like that? It's like less than 20 catches.
Bro. Right.
Well, okay, so I look, I'm not taking no sides on. I'm gonna just say the tight end room wasn't ready last season. Arroyo barely played, he wasn't ready. Riley Williams, who did play, he wasn't ready. Skinner, he couldn't catch or block. Jackson Carver, he didn't play at all. Cam McCormick, I mean, you know, how much did we expect from him? You know what I'm saying? If you throw him the ball 8 times, do you think he gonna catch even 40 passes? I don't know. So again, the tight end room just was an F minus last season. So we'll leave it at that. We got this year. We got to go and see who's going to be something. Arroyo, he's healthy. I'm thinking he's our guy. He's probably, to be honest, the best route runner on the football team. That's including receivers and all.
You say Arroyo is the best route runner?
X.
Yeah, Arroyo route running is nasty. Now he runs routes.
You think it's better than Jacoby's?
Hey, Arroyo route running, I compare his route running almost to Kalen Winslow.
All right.
But you think he's better than Jacoby?
His route running. His route running is
better than Jacoby? Okay. Hey, that's a clip.
He's an excellent route runner. That's what I'm telling you. Like, he runs routes like a receiver.
Okay. So let's just, we kind of jumped over the question. Let's just real quick before we move on to running backs. Who is the position battles that y'all looking at for spring? Is there an incumbent starter like this is tight end 1? Yeah.
Arroyo, he's number 1.
Yeah.
KB, what you say?
The battle is at number 2. The battle is at like 2 and 3.
So you're saying Elijah Arroyo is the starting tight end, receiving threat tight end. Rich, what about you?
He does both.
I'm saying Arroyo, but this is kind of a dark horse. I think Lofton is going to be 2 or 3 because he reminds me so much of Brevin Jordan. He just, He's gonna be 2 or 3, but Arroyo for sure is number 1.
Y'all gonna get mad at me, but y'all know who I think number 2 gonna be Cam. I'm not saying he's gonna be that.
I'm not mad at you. Like in
okay,
theory, that's right.
So,
If he's
but
a
yeah,
blocking
yeah,
threat.
like I say, in
Okay,
theory, Cam is probably number 1
y'all
or 2
get where
because
I
he's
was
going to
going.
be on the field to block. But we talk about who are going to be our pass catching tight ends. We not putting Cam name in that category.
Oh, okay. I thought we meant depth chart. My fault.
No, you
I
right.
mean, well,
In
yeah,
theory,
depth chart, but let's just be logical. Like Cam, we know if the
Oh,
quarterback is
yeah.
throwing the ball to the tight end, Cam's not getting that throw. He's not getting that pass.
Now I would say if there's a situation where he's really spreading out and using those spread concepts, Cam can't be on the field.
Nah.
There's no room for him on the field, right? Especially if you have a Swiss Army knife like Elijah Lofton, you can't put Cam in field because you don't need a 6 blocker. You need another receiving threat, right? So if that's what we're looking at, then Cam should never be on the field. But if we're going back to Mario's old ways,
Man, y'all look at Jay White. Dog, you might well go ahead and pick up you a bottle for the season, dog. Y'all gonna see a whole lot of Cam. What's his jersey number X?
20,
I don't know
34,
what jersey
84?
I don't want to see on the field.
84. Y'all might as well go ahead
I don't
and
want to
y'all will
see
see that
84 no
84 a
more
lot,
on the
bro.
field. I don't want to see 84 on the field anymore.
Shout out to Coach Hayes. He said bring back Shock. I think he got a year eligibility.
Shit,
He might have came. He
that's
might have
cool.
came in the same year. He might have came in the same year as Cam. Low key.
Come on back,
Possibility.
Shaggy.
All right, let's get into running backs. But before we actually get into running backs, so Rich, who you said you got Elijah? No, who did you say, Rich? Your starters who?
Arroyo and Lofton is going to be 2 or 3.
Okay,
I'm not sure where, but it's going to be Riley Williams or Lofton. That's
okay.
2.
All right, shout out to Chris. See why he said he's gonna get a Cam McCormick jersey. All right, so before we get into it, we didn't have a chance to talk about this on stream, but as y'all can see, new running back coach Matt Merritt. Real quick, we'll go down. Everybody, give us your thoughts about Matt Merritt.
We had that before anybody, man. I'm on record saying we had it.
Yeah, we did.
Hold on, ask me blow you up. Say that shit one more time.
We had that before anybody. We had that February 6th or something like that, 15 days before anybody knew it. And now they don't want to give us no credit. It's all good. It's all good.
Just so they know. That was just for the people in the back. What's your thoughts on him, X?
Man, again, I did my research. I spoke with coaches around college football, even spoken with some recruits. They like it. They say he's a good coach. He can develop. He can recruit. He's an up-and-coming young coach that Mario wanted to get before anybody else get him. So, yeah, I'm good with it.
KB, what's your thoughts?
I don't know the guy, so all I can say is, I mean, this is Miami. We got running backs. They could have hired Medi to coach the running backs, and I would clap. It's like we shouldn't have a drop. We shouldn't have a drop off. So I ain't got much to say about Merritt. I don't really know him. So
type shit. What you got, Rich?
Just looking at his resume, I think he's extremely similar to Tim Harris Jr. He has an extensive resume for a very short period of time, and he was trusted a lot with not only the run game, but the pass game in a sense, if you will, the offensive scheme, if you will. So I think he's going to bring a lot to the table, not only to the running back room, but also even though this is not in title, he's just a running backs coach. I think he's really going to have a lot to do with running scheme and QB runs, because if he's there and he has that experience, why not use it? So I like the hire a lot. I think we found a diamond in the rough.
I would actually agree with all that. I think same thing. Looking at his resume, he didn't play at the upper echelon like the other hire we got. Right, he didn't win at the highest levels, but he did what he could for where he was at. Right, and then what I say, and the only part I will push back on what you said, Rich, is that Tim Harris is an actual high school football legend under his dad's tutelage, right? Where this guy he's done his thing at other schools. Um, 2010, after he finished playing, obviously with playing at Capital University, you're not going to get a lot of, you know, offers to the combine and things like that. Grad assistant. So basically, pretty much as soon as his playing career was over, 14 years ago, went straight to grad assistant. Went to St. Charles Prep, running back coach, special team coordinator. Went to Ohio State as a graduate assistant running back. Went to Ohio Dominican, which I don't know what that is, but was running back coach, special teams coordinator. Goes on to Elon, running back coach, special teams coordinator. Goes to James Madison, running back coach. Goes to Tennessee, a SEC school, senior offensive analyst. Goes to Georgia Southern, running backs coach, USF associate head coach and running game coordinator. So as you can see, definitely worked his way through the ranks, and that's one of the things that I love to see with young coaches. If you got a bunch of pit stops, kind of like we're seeing with my guy DVD right now, I'm good with that. As long as you're taking something with you and you're going somewhere else, I always want to see you stay there and develop and develop guys that you got. But if you are gonna hop from job to job at lower levels, at least develop some guys that you can kind of have on your resume and say, look, this guy was a D3 All American. This guy was, a G5, all conference. You know what I'm saying? Have those things you can kind of stand on and be like, okay, cool. I did this. I'm moving to a better position because I have a resume of doing that at lower levels. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Nice foundation.
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. He had connections with, you see somebody said Derrick Henry had connections with even Zeke Elliott, Carlos Hyde. He had some, those two guys came out of Ohio State, had pretty good seasons at Ohio State. So he's been around some good running backs before.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he has a I get what Tampa, that's the central Florida area, whatever you want to
South
call
Florida,
that.
South Florida.
South Florida.
Hey,
So
hey,
he
show
has
love, show
connections
love
in
to
that
white,
area.
show love to the white's alma mater, man. She don't claim it, but
He has some connections in that area. Again, is man, he is already like three running backs who very high on Miami. Be three running back recruits that's very high on Miami. So all he got to do is step in and just basically do the job. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. And like I said, I think like shout out to 305 MDC. He's saying that he has coaching clinics. That's huge. That means you're imparting your knowledge and wisdom on other people outside of the coaching ranks. And so being able to do that is something that is important, in my opinion, to like I said, to showing your prowess in your resume. Can you coach the position? It's the same thing we were just talking about because we don't see that resume with my boy Woodrow, right? We don't see that. So we just see a guy that Mario's familiar with that he brought on. I was like, hey, this. So the jury's out. You know what I'm saying? Where this guy could be the guy we talking about in a couple of years, like in a die, who's getting put in a different position. So that's it, man. Just we want to see that. So let's transition to running backs. Um, who are you looking at as starter? And I want to hear X first because I'm lost about who's on his depth chart. Like I keep hearing Henry Parrish, and I'm like, Henry Parrish still got eligibility.
Mhm.
So yeah, you got. I mean, for spring, I don't even want to add Henry Parrish name because we know what he can do. We know what he can do.
Is he your starter for
I
spring? Just for spring?
I guess if that's they gonna allow him to be active for spring, he's the starter.
Okay.
The two guys I'm looking, or the three guys who probably battling for either starting role or key roles are Javonte Citizen, Ajay Allen, and Chris Johnson.
I'm nervous about X. I'm looking at I'm on the gram, going to the picks. I see some players are posting Trevante Citizens. Trevante Citizen is still in that brace. It's been what, 3 seasons now, and he's still in that knee brace, and I'm concerned.
So everybody was wondering why he didn't play last year. The thing was, when you're a running back, your knee has to be able to make certain cuts. He wasn't able to make those certain cuts.
Like I said, he's in off-season workouts, and he's still in that brace.
I mean, He okay. I want him in a knee brace for the spring. How about that? Keep him in the knee brace for the spring. Fall camp, that knee brace got to come off.
And if he's still in it, then what?
If he's still in it, then that's his knee and the workout program that the staff got going for him. That's something that we got to look into.
Okay, Rich, what you got? Who's your starter
I
for
mean,
spring?
for spring, if they allow him to practice, I mean, you got to go with the guy who had production. That's going to be Henry Parrish. If I'm not mistaken, Fletcher is going to be. Is he still recovering from
Yeah,
surgery or?
Fletcher, he not available for spring at all.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
figured.
Yeah, so in that case, I mean, the other things that'll be interesting to see is the two guys that were here, but that didn't get any playing time. So Chris Johnson as well as Trevante Citizen. How these are guys that are on scholarship that are both 4-star guys. So looking to see what they can bring to the table in terms of their running style and what role they're going to have in the running game. AJ, we kind of know what he brings to the table. So AJ is going to be your number 2 behind Parrish if Parrish is even, out there really like that. If not, AJ's number 1. Then you're going to try to figure out what you got with Chris Johnson and Trevante Citizen and how you're going to use them.
What you got, KB?
Yeah, I think we all gonna rock and roll with Parrish as the number 1, if he's out there. And I think AJ has to be your number 2. But I think I would have Parrish carry a very light load because we got a lot of running backs. And I want to get everybody out there getting some touches because I know what Parrish is gonna bring me. He's not gonna bring me any more, any less than what he's already given me. So it's just to decide, I'm going to decide in the fall, do I want to start him or Fletcher, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get the bulk of the carries to everybody else. I think Allen is a guy that gets better with touches because his feet and his vision, it's like he's setting up every time he runs and stuff. And I think he's just that guy that keeps going and then he'll pop it. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not elite speed, but it's elite quickness and he can pop one. So I think I want to see the other guys get the bulk of the carries. I know y'all didn't really ask me that, but I just want to, I really want to push Parrish and Fletcher to the side and let those other guys rock out and see what we got. You know what I mean?
And that's
can't leave out true freshman Chris Humphrey. Chris Humphrey out there also.
Him too, all of them.
He's hard working.
I heard he's doing his thing on the workouts too. I was gonna say, I guess against everything y'all saying, I don't see Henry Parrish. I saw Henry Parrish lose his starting job, if I'm being honest with you, last season. Am I incorrect in saying that?
Nah.
I see the same thing that KB just said is what he made all my points. When I watch AJ Allen, I see a guy who, he's younger than Henry Parrish, but granted, he lost his true freshman year in Nebraska because I think he shattered his collarbone, something like that. He transferred to Miami and he had some runs that kept us in games. Right? He showed some explosiveness. He showed some ability to leap over guys and make big plays, break off tackles. I think a lot of his issue was run blocking. I don't think he was a very solid run blocker. If he worked on that. Now, granted, I love Tim Johnson. I mean Tim Harris. Don't get me wrong. Love Tim Harris, but I don't know if that was Tim Harris's MO in coaching that. Where now you got a running back coach who has developed some names that y'all said play on Sundays. Has been around in the rooms with guys who play on Sundays that know how to run block. If he's really in the lab with Matt Merritt, I can see a situation, a scenario in spring. I'm not saying for the rest of the season. I'm saying in spring where, maybe in our depth chart, you know what I'm saying, we see a guy like AJ Allen take a leap. And maybe he does get some starting snaps over Henry Parrish. And twofold, someone said that too. Someone's like, we sleep on Chris Johnson. Like, if I see Chris Johnson, like he in there snatching shit. Granted, they're not 45, they're 25s, but he in there snatching something. You know what I'm saying? He throwing some weight up a little bit. If he can maintain his speed in the spring, I definitely see him getting snaps with second, third string. and definitely making his mark, right? Like, so
The
that's
crazy part is that whole position is up for grabs because we don't have what we are looking for is a Trey Benson, Dalvin Cook, a guy who is an every down back, but if you give that dude a crease, you're not going to catch him. And right now, I think, yeah, like Chris Johnson, it'd be great if that was Chris Johnson. He has the speed, but is he going to be 200 pounds?
Mhm.
So that's the question there, because if he's not, then now how many carries could you really give him in a game?
I've
So,
said this. I've said this. I'm not even okay with having a 3 down back. I'm okay with having a stable. That's what made Miami great in the early 2000s. Is you had a stable of guys who could all do different things. One to shake you out your socks, one to run through your chest and your face mask, and one could do both. And you had that luxury. That was a luxury to have. I'm okay with Chris Johnson not being, if it means that we wore the team down, because Mark Fletcher ran that bitch 5 times up the hole, and we're sending Chris Johnson out on a wheel route, for a fade ball, right? I'm good with that, just to keep them guessing. I'm good with that. I just need to see some type of entertainment, um, and some type of offensive, an offensive mastermind working the tools he has in his room. That's all I care about. I don't even need a starter running back, right? We and Mario like putting out depth charts anyway. I'm good with that. I don't care if the guy's different every week. Just give me something. Just give them something to think about and to guess about. We don't know who's going to take the starter snaps this week. We don't. I would love to see a 2-back set. Make them motherfuckers guess. Like, damn, who about to get this snap? Or is it going to be an option and Cam going to take off with it? Who knows? Just make them guess. The same way I said the tight ends. Make them
there
have
you
to
go, right
figure it
there,
out.
Manny. There you go, right there. I think the fact that we have a mobile quarterback who can throw and run, it gives the running backs a better option to get more yards per carry. Because with TVD, it's like, well, we know he ain't pulling that ball. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we don't know. We saw Vanilla Vic a couple times last year, man.
I mean, okay, he did it 3 times all
He
season.
shook the camera out. He shook the camera out of the way.
Yeah, he did. He did, but shit, like nobody's expecting that all game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Oh yeah, he did
I
have that
just,
one game, right? I was trying to remember the game. Like, did
Miami, Ohio, man. I think it's Miami, Ohio, or
he did it 2 games. He did it 2 games. One with Miami, Ohio, and the other one was it? No, okay, we played. Was it Pitt? No, it was somebody up in the cold weather. We played.
Temple.
It might have been Temple. Yep.
I think it was Temple.
Man, he hit that sideline. The camera didn't know he was there. He hit that sideline. Got up out of there. That boy got up out of there, man. I was like, oh shit!
What a time to be alive. What them first 4 games? What a time to be alive.
Man, it's something about a back though that could just break a defense, man. It's because you always have an identity when you go into a game. Like even if that back is not, you're not giving them 30 carries, but you give them a solid 15, and
it's an impactful 15.
2 of them is 40-yard runs, and they just break your back.
So let me ask all y'all this. Okay, just thinking about. Okay, so last season the offense was balanced. You threw the ball the same amount that you ran the ball. So just say we throw the ball 30 times, we run the ball 30 times. I'm just giving a number. So you got 30 carries to, give to your running backs. How do you break up? How do you decide who gets the bulk, or how do you decide who's getting those carries?
Down and distance. I don't care. Just make them guess. Have them figure it out.
I think you have to do what we didn't do last year, and that was develop a pecking order. You're going to have specialists like, automatically I can think Johnson is a specialist. And I already think Fletcher is my specialist right there on the goal line. But you got to have a pecking order. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was some of the complaints, from last year, because from game to game, it was like Chaney ran for 120 last game. We haven't seen him the whole first half. And you know what I'm saying? So you got to have a pecking order. You got to have, okay, this is my number 1 guy, and this is my number 1B, or my number 2, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then, Jay, you're my 3rd down back. I'm going to find carries for everybody else in special packages, but I have to have a pecking order. It doesn't mean that the first guy gets 20, the second guy gets 5, and the other guy gets. It doesn't mean that. The carries can be whatever they are, whoever's the hot hand, but you got to develop a pecking order. You know what I'm saying? And then it's not about how many carries or throws you do. It's what you do in those carries and throws and how you do it. Please don't give me 7 carries for Fletcher, and they're all just right up the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got to be something. Like Medi keeps saying, be smart, be creative, do some different shit. You know. So how you divvy it up? Start with a pecking order, and then everything else will fall into place.
What you got, Rich?
Nah, I agree with that, KB, and that's what I'm saying. If you had 30 carries per game, 15 needs to go to that feature guy, whoever comes out on top, whether it's a citizen because he's healthy enough to do so, or it's a Chris Johnson because he's 195, 200 pounds and can carry that load. But you need that alpha. Then after that alpha, you can divvy it up amongst 2 more backs. Not saying that those other 2 backs are whatever, but because, like Medi said, one of those backs could be a third down back, and it could be that a Chris Johnson, if he's not the feature, who's gonna hit you on that real wheel route and take it to the house. So it's not saying that those 6 carries don't matter; they matter a lot. But you got to have that feature. Then 2 more guys. I'd like to see 3 guys play, and call it a day. And let them boys ride out.
Even one better, man. I think what I loved about when Dawson first got here, we always go back to the first 4 games, right? Just the play design, the creativity that we just seem to see, and then we have the next 4 games, and that shit goes out the window. And then the last couple of games, we sitting there asking, where the hell did all this come from? Where was this in X game when we lost this game? And that's the part that y'all might not like this, but I'll say this: I would even love to see a situation where you have a goal line situation. We got Cam you got like a triple option look, or like a 3 back look. We got like an Elijah Lofton, a Cam McCormick, and a Mark Fletcher in the backfield, and you make them motherfuckers guess who about to get this ball on the goal line, or Cam Corona. I would like that's all I want to see is creativity. If Miami becomes creative, where defensive coordinators really have to guess what they're doing and not be predictable, Miami will win a national championship because the talent is there. And that might sound lofty for me to say, but the talent is there. And this is the closest we've been to it since 2004.
It's not lofty because you're right. If we was creative on offense, like really creative,
we dropped 52 on the SEC team. I want you to understand this. In the first 3 weeks of the season, with all them 4 and 5 stars that they got, and you would argue their defensive backfield was top to bottom more talented than what we ever had on offense, to include Tyler. They had the advantage on every single play on their roster over Miami.
Well, let's see. I just know. I mean, he has a lot to work with as far as with Cam, with the running backs. He has. Look, if he's creative, it's gonna spell trouble for a lot of football teams.
And that's all I want. If he's not here because he's getting hired to a bigger P5, I'm okay with that. But if this is who you are, this is your MO. If you were the guy, because like I've seen Dana Holgorsen regress. If I'm being honest with you, since he's left Shannon Dawson, I haven't seen a fucking high power offense from Dana Holgorsen team since Shannon Dawson left him. I've seen him regress. Does he have a job still? Is he still coaching?
I don't know.
So that tells me that Shannon Dawson was doing something.
I know one thing. Shannon Dawson was saying Cam Ward it has some similarities to Geno. Geno was at West Virginia.
Dana Holgorsen is still a coach at Houston.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, see how long that lasts.
Last year, he was 8-5.
Was he?
No, he was 4. He was
Yeah, I'm
4
gonna
and
say
8.
they were terrible last year.
4-8, 2-7 in the conference. His record at Houston is 31-28.
Hmm.
And maybe we say he took a downgrade leaving West Virginia.
But even with that, all that talent you got in Texas, I mean, you should outside. I mean, I know they have UCF in their conference, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they do.
They should still. I mean, but behind UCF, they should be number 2 or 3 every year with the talent they got.
In 2001, they were 12-2. In 2022, they were 8-5. And then 2023, they went 4-8.
Somebody say he got fired.
Did he? Let's check the Wikipedia.
Let's see.
It's accurate.
I'm looking at it.
No, it's
he resigned.
Yeah, it's 2019 and 2023. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hogerson was fired November 26, 2023, following a losing season. So he got fired in November.
Him and Mario the same age? Oh, yeah, a year younger than Mario. Well, football did him bad. Anywho.
That boy look wild, don't he?
Yeah, I've always thought that. Ever since I watched that game I ain't pay attention to that game when Mark Rick beat his ass in that bowl game. I just remember him just going ape shit on the sideline, and I remember him going to the quarterback and pointing at the playbook and getting mad, and I was like, man, this dude is unhinged.
So what position y'all on? Y'all finished the positions?
Yeah, we just finished running backs. So now
wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Oh,
man, wide receiver. I'm gonna go.
So we're going to what?
Cam Jacoby, right?
Y'all talking at the same time. Who'd you start as X?
Oh, okay. So Cam Ward is connecting with Jacoby George. Like that's the one guy Cam Ward mentions the most.
They brought him to the meeting with Rohan Marley. I would hope so.
That's the one guy Cam Ward mentions the most. I've been told that he looks for number 3 when they out there going through the little shell 707. He looks for number 3 a lot.
Good.
And it's working.
Let me blow this up.
Good. He had plays last year, right? He had a bunch of big plays last year. They said it's looking like he's going to have more big plays this year.
Man, when I saw him sign the autograph for the kids at this sign, they told me everything I need to know, man. I ain't saying we bike, as Rich would say.
We bike.
But so let's listen. Bike. So you got I'm gonna call out all the receivers. You got Jacoby, you got Restrepo, you got Ray, you got Robbie, you got JoJo, you got Nykar, you got Horton, you got Michael Redden.
God damn, Michael Redden is still on this roster.
Damn, who else?
Shamar Kirk.
We bite.
Shamar Kirk.
You said Isaiah Horton?
Yeah, I said Horton. So the 3 guys.
Michael Redden, you got to cut him. He got to be bleeding orange and green because there's no way. Even Frank Lattin got up out of here, and he was a transfer.
Michael Redden is a guy that does everything they want and needs to be done in practice.
Except when it matters. Not the game. Yeah. Shout out to my nigga AI. Not the game. Practice. We talking about practice, not the game.
But sometimes you got to make that sacrifice and keep that guy around, especially when your best receiver is Jacoby, and we may be having what seems to be sometimes, maturity issues or whatever. You have to keep a Redding around because you won't. And don't get me wrong, yeah, we got Restrepo, but sometimes you make that sacrifice and keep a guy like Redding around so things will run smoothly. So you know what I'm saying? You need an extension of your coach sometimes. So I think the
Jacoby nonsense is kind of under control now because they brought in the guy who actually knows him real close.
Oh, you're right. The
Scott Johnson, the coach. Yep. So They brought in a guy who knows him real close. So I think that's kind of under control for the most part.
If KB had anything to do with that, I don't give. You pay KB every dime, because that's what understanding a locker room looks like. That's how it's supposed to look. That's the type of stuff head coaches are supposed to be doing. We've heard stories about Nick Saban doing that.
About whatever KB. I mean, KB was always a great coach, but him going away and then coming back, he not only is a great coach with the kids, he's also a strategist as a coach, bringing in another guy to help with the receiver room. I mean, God, he's going to be. I would almost say this: are we going to see that we start challenging the Ohio States of the world for wide receiver talent with the way that these boys are being coached up at receiver now?
You goddamn right.
You start winning.
we challenge them boys. Listen. Yeah. We got two guys who Ohio State desperately wanted. They desperately wanted JoJo. They desperately wanted Chance Robinson. We took those guys. We didn't get the top target, Jeremiah. I mean, we was there on Saturday. It was a coin flip. You know what I'm saying? We was there, but we are challenging them. Now, granted, I think their reach is more broad because they can go out and get the top guys nationally. We just haven't gotten that yet. We could get the South Florida guys, and then probably like a guy out of Georgia, stuff like that. So, but we challenging them, especially if Restrepo and George has another year like they had this year, and then JoJo go out there and have a good year. You challenge him big time.
Hold up, man. Off topic for a minute, man. Fresh off the press, man. Hold up, man. Off topic, man.
It's not a good look for the company. Right? All right, we supposed to be jumping somebody, and y'all out there getting carried like a youth league basketball. All right, now, Peter. I done told you've been slacking for way too long. All right, and you finally got hemmed up. Take a look at your feet, son. Got the same problem as the Carolina Panthers. Instability. All right, here come Davis with the Pearl Harbor sneak attack. Oh, my God. Cam Newton's face is wide open like Ben Simmons at the three-point line. This should be a piece of cake. I'll probably just knock him out, finally be successful at something in my life. Damn, never mind. I only got 2 hits like Cisco. Just like one of them hits. The job is incomplete. Barely took off 1 health point. All right, now take a look at Larissa. She ain't come here for all this. She gets out faster than a snitch. Speaking of snitch, take a look at Miss Kathy. She points the cops in the right direction and heads off. She gotta get to Trader Joe's before they close.
Damn, Kathy.
All right, back to the action. All right, take a look at Davis getting thrown around like a racial slur at an NRA convention. Oh my God, it's Cam Newton. I watched him use the Freddie Gibbs offense to carry the Auburn Tigers to the national championship, and now he's carrying me. It's all come full circle, like a circle jerk, but we can't beat him. He's like Donald Trump. All right, now once again, take a look at your feet, Peters. All right, you ain't stood on 10 your whole life or in this fight one time. Y'all look like the Z Fighters before Goku pull up. And that's all right, because there's going to be some changes, all right, with the company. Some of y'all ain't going to be with us much longer. All right, now I got to call the customers. Let them know that we failed.
Man, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. I already saw the video. Man, put my deposit back in my account by tomorrow. That's supposed to be pro jumpers.
Pro jumpers.
Want something done right, you got to do it yourself.
I don't
Pro jumpers.
How did he get that made so fast? That video came out, what, 2 days ago?
No, that video came out last night. He just
how did he get
22
that
minutes ago.
How did he get that merch made so fast?
Pro jumpers.
That
is kind of crazy, huh? Pro jumpers.
That was funny. Boy, had Brock Purdy putting hits out on people. Somebody
I ain't gonna lie,
Jay Wimber jersey.
Some of his similes on that one, they were elite. That's probably some of his nastiest work. He said we can't beat him like he said we can't beat him like Donald Trump. That's crazy.
Pro jumpers, dog.
I was gonna say this to later, but X, real quick before we continue with the receivers. New King God asked, who exactly is Sly Johnson? Explain why the hire is so important.
Okay, so Slight Johnson is a guy, wide receiver, who trains high school, little league wide receivers. He's trained JoJo, Jeremiah, Restrepo. He's trained Judy,
Premier
Jerry Judy.
athletes. Just
Yeah,
tell them Premier
athlete.
athletes. Go check out his Instagram. I mean, him and Boosie, right? It used to be him and Boosie, right?
Yeah.
Him and Boosie used to go all the way back 8 o'clock Sunday morning. Sam, Bruce, God, and everybody used to be out there training with these people. And ever since then, they've trained the best. Jeremiah Smith trains with them every weekend. JoJo, Chris, like I mean, every he's trained some of everybody. He knows some of everybody. Like he knows wide receiver, cornerback wise. I mean, he's the glue to a lot of the kids in the community. So
this is a chess move.
Yeah, we never had Brandon Ennis. Brandon Ennis. I mean, that was like a staple of what they was doing.
Chess move.
So well, how does this look though? X, like he goes to help KB because him and KB obviously know each other. Both out of Broward, right?
No, him and KB know each other real good. Like they
right.
You know what I'm saying? When KB was coaching in high school, they was working together. You know what I'm saying? When KB was coaching with South Florida Express at the beginning, they was working together. So they know each other like exclusively. It works out to where on the off season, he's the guy out there working with those guys. He's out there working with them with their route running, training them and stuff like that. When KB can't be out there because KB is
coach. He's a coach. He can't make contact in the off season. Yep.
So they hire him as a consultant where he's able to go out there and work and train with those guys.
The same way y'all was screaming last year, we should have hired a quarterback trainer. This is that chess move that y'all talking about, but just for the receivers.
Dirty work.
This shit again
That's
this
awesome.
year too.
What'd you say, KB?
I said we screaming that shit again this year too. They got them redhead.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing that he's out there with those guys. And it gives KB a lot more influential with the offense now. Now he don't have to focus on just coaching the receiving room. He can actually say, "Hey, okay, well, this is the route tree that we want to run or that we've been working on." You know what I'm saying?
It's the same.
Everybody else we know can go out there and show them how to run that correct route.
It's the same thing as, once again, chess move. We hired Chevis, who we're gonna talk about on Thursday. We hired Chevis, who's familiar with Guidry, and granted, they only played 1 year, but that same defense beat Notre Dame. Roy Marcus Freeman coming out partying and all. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is that, but on steroids, because they actually know each other outside of the University of Miami. This is what it's supposed to look like when you're talking about building a championship roster. This is how it looks. This is a chess move. It's not checkers. This is a chess move. Y'all everybody talk about Brian Hartline. I didn't know Brian Hartline. Side note, I didn't know Brian Hartline played with Johnny Manziel and Travis Benjamin on the Browns.
Didn't know
they was on the same team at one point.
But Manziel, damn, Hartline was still playing.
Yeah, Brian Hartline, he was the veteran on that team, but yeah, they all played together.
God damn.
Oh shit! I never knew Brian Hartline playing with Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I thought he was done by then. But this is what you do. This is what men do. This is what secure coaches do. Instead of being threatened by, whoever's ideas it was, I'm assuming I guess it's KB's. Instead of being threatened by help, you welcome the help. You know what I'm saying? And that's something we've been missing. We haven't seen, like when it was the whole, Manny and Zoe thing. Instead of you embracing the help, you you pushed away the help. We saw it with somebody else, like with Gaddis. Like, yeah, maybe Gaddis wanted what he wanted, but if I give you punts, let's figure out how to work together. Instead of us either not communicating well or the quarterback's getting different. This is what you do as a secure man and as a secure coach. You welcome the help. Nobody can do this all alone. So, shout out to UM and shout out to Mario continuing to, take a step by step. Every year is, dang, why we ain't doing this? And then you'll see Mario take that step. You know what I'm saying? Step by step. So shout out to him.
Shit. Is KB giving Mario
I give him credit what credit is due.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you, dog. I hear you.
Nah, I get you though. I get you though. Y'all enjoy it while y'all can hear it. Enjoy it while y'all can hear it, because once that off season start. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so back to the receivers, man. I think it's gonna be JoJo, Strepo, and George.
JG3.
George, those three, and I think Ray Horton and I guess Nikar.
They were the late Sam Bruce right there.
Yeah, there goes Sam Bruce right there.
Yeah. Woo! So that move.
But go ahead, X.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people probably don't like it. They keep saying, okay, well, Isaiah Horton. I mean, I would love for Isaiah Horton to step up, man. I just think JoJo is just the better receiver. JoJo is like that. You know, I keep telling people, everybody was like, oh, well, we didn't get Jeremiah. I'm like, well, shoot, we got JoJo. So if you don't get Jeremiah, but you get JoJo, you should damn sure be happy. I mean, JoJo is going to be that guy. I'm not going to say he's a freak, but he does everything that you want in the incoming freshman receiver to get on that field immediately. And then,
so you think JoJo has Amon Richards freshman season?
Man, I kind of think JoJo might have a Amon Richards season, man. To be honest.
Oh shit.
You know, because we're gonna throw the ball. We're gonna throw that ball. I think he can have that Amon season.
Oh, okay.
Look, Kobe Young.
Name another UM wide receiver that had Amon Richard freshman season.
Michael Irvin.
Oh shit! And that's what I mean. You see what just happened?
30 years ago.
But look, they don't come often. They don't come like that often. So I mean,
they don't. You think JoJo is as polished as Amon Richards was coming in? We know he's as talented, right?
Yes,
Do you think he's as polished as a receiver?
Yes.
I know he's super talented, and when you ask who's making waves down there, the first name they say is
Amon might have had more speed, more breakaway speed, maybe. But I think JoJo is as polished as it get. You don't get as polished as JoJo.
You think Amon was faster than JoJo?
I think Amon came in with some tools though that a lot of kids don't come in with, bro. Like some route tools. Like I think Amon was polished coming out of high school. I think though is about as talented as an athlete can get. But damn, X, you talking Michael Irvin, Amon Richards, and JoJo?
Man, okay. So what was the record? What is Amon? Amon is at what 900? Is 900 something yards, right?
Yeah.
I think he can get up between 700 to 800. I think, to be honest.
Who you talking about, JoJo?
Yeah.
You got him as a starter, X?
Yeah. I think he's gonna start.
What about the rest of y'all? Who y'all think is starting?
We know it's gonna be Jacoby and X, but I think it's gonna be Horton as the third starter. Because I think being 6'4" gives them just another dynamic. So those are my three guys.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking too for spring. Not necessarily for fall, but that's what I'm thinking for spring. Because of that same reason.
What Ham 305 talking about down there?
He said Nikar is better than JoJo.
Read the rest of it.
No Florida receiver making noise since forever.
Now everybody stop. Right? Can we name any Florida receiver anywhere that's making noise?
Well, first of all, we never get him at Miami, so it doesn't matter.
Can we name any receiver from Florida, Medi, that's making noise?
In college football right now or NFL?
Any fucking where. I don't give a fuck where he at. NFL, USFL, any Florida receiver. Come on, can we name something?
Big Dell.
Well, what kind of noise? Because X was rated what in the ACC? Like, what kind of noise we talking about?
He was a first team. He was a first team All ACC receiver.
Yeah. So what kind of noise are we talking about?
Zay Flowers noise. I mean,
yeah, that's noise.
Any other Florida receivers in college football making any fucking?
Yeah, they just don't come to Miami. They don't come to Miami. We miss them every year.
But are there any Florida receivers making noise? That's the question.
Yeah, what's his name about to get drafted this year coming from Georgia? The guy who was at St. Thomas, who went to
Rosemary.
Marcus Rosemary.
Well, shit, we just had the number one wide receiver in the nation coming out of high school.
Jeremiah, Calvin Ridley, Jerry Jr.
He corrected himself.
Thank you. Here we go. Now we talking. Now we talking. Now we talking. Right. Now we talking. Okay.
That's what I figured. Yeah, they usually leave. We had what? We had Thornton, who we turned to an NFT. Shout out to Apple. We turned to an NFT. He had the fastest
KJ Osborne.
KJ Osborne. I mean, oh yeah.
He's not from Florida.
He's still in the league.
KJ Osborne from Florida.
He went to UM.
Yeah, remember KJ Osborne went to IMG.
He's from Minnesota. He's like from Minnesota or some shit. He went to Buffalo.
Oh, okay. Well, he did go to IMG. My bad. He did go to IMG.
Yeah, he ain't from Miami. Damn, who I just said? What just said on this thumb?
Somebody said Jacoby and X. Yeah, I think Jacoby and X about to go fucking crazy this year.
X just made all fucking ACC. Like, I don't know what kind of noise are we talking about, bro?
I think Jacoby
y'all literally just sit here and saw X be an all ACC guy. I don't get it.
And I will argue if the ACC wasn't sucking off Florida State, because we know that those two receivers at Florida State were not better than JG3.
I agree.
And I'm just me being completely objective, right? They just had a better record, so they had to put them in the conversation.
Right.
So okay, so I just wanted, that kind of bothered. I just wanted to get that straight right there. Nakar better than JoJo. It's not too many people better than JoJo. Period, across the nation.
Yeah,
like I keep explaining to people that JoJo,
and even that's subjective.
JoJo somehow became a 5-star playing next to Jeremiah since he was 9 years old, and somehow still became a 5-star. So I want you to put your child on the field, right, with a guy like Jeremiah, and then ask your child to become a 5-star. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Derrick Henry. Look at Derrick Henry's stats when he was in high school. This man, since he was a freshman, got over 30 carries a game. What I'm saying by that is, how hard was it for JoJo to become a 5-star when you had a kid who was a generational talent next to him since he was 9 years old, to Streeter's point?
Right.
Because if you were a running back and you played while Derrick Henry was there, you sat on the bench for 4 years.
Hey,
granted.
How did we even get on that topic? Because I'm lost. What happened?
Yeah, granted, he played at Uvalde High School where they pick oranges and chase rabbits. He didn't have the greatest. He didn't have the greatest competition come out of high school. He played in like Central Florida where nothing happens.
That's in Jacksonville, but make it even worse, because you're right. He did play at a small school. But even if you was at a quarterback and you was like, "Hey, coach, could I throw the ball?" Coach would be like, "Man, you ask me that question again, your ass is gonna be on the bench."
Right.
In fact, you asked me that question again, you running Wildcat.
Somebody put up a comment, X. So listen, so moving along. So KB, who your three? Because y'all just shitting on Horton.
That was my three. My three was George, Restrepo, and Horton, because, like I say, different dynamic. And I think you can different dynamic putting that 6'4" guy out there on the boundary.
What about you, Rich? You said your three?
Yeah, same as KB. So Horton, X, and JG. And the reason I say Horton now is because of just that we need a big body. We need a big body receiver. So I don't know if that changes because JoJo is so much more better, but we gotta have. I mean, we struggle with this tall receiver thing. I don't. You know, we'll see what happens. But that's what I got.
Again, in Dawson's offense, he don't need no 6'4" wide receiver to be the best receiver. He just need a receiver that's gonna run the route and catch the ball. I think that's the only issue with Horton is his route running. Still, I don't think his route running is gotten to where it needs to be for him to be that guy.
Charles can bring up a good point because we spent ad nauseum. We spent time ad nauseum last season discussing this. Me, Rich, and KB have said we love X. We love what he does. We love his route running, the way he gets his depth of route, but he's never going to be that explosive caliber of player like we talk about JG3. And in some cases, when he did get the ball thrown to him, Kobe Young. Would y'all agree with this statement? If X leads the team in receptions again, not yardage, but receptions, we in trouble?
Man, Ham 305 is over here. Just I can't even.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
I don't.
Matty, who your three? Who your three is, Matty?
My three?
Yeah.
Before I get it, I want to ask because my what's called is going to kind of revert to something I said earlier tonight. But I want to know the answer to this question. If are we in trouble if X leads the teams in receptions?
Yes.
If X leads the team in receptions, are we in trouble? I think no. I think we have a more dynamic quarterback.
Because we
have a more dynamic quarterback. I think we have a quarterback that's going to spread the ball around. So he could lead the team in receptions, and he could have 67, and Jacoby could have 65. So I think we got a quarterback that's going to spread the ball around a little more, man. I think we'll see more people get the ball. We don't have a one shot, one kill motherfucker hiking the ball, getting the snap. So I don't think it matters. I think we see a more productive offense, and that's what I think we see. I think we see the big plays from the guys on the outside, and I think we see X hurting motherfuckers on third down.
Yep, I agree. To answer the question, my three is it's in line with everybody, but once again, I just want to see creativity. Give the defensive coordinators on the other side of the ball something to think about. If you want to put a four receiver set out there, or you put JoJo and X on the inside, or Ray and X on the inside, I don't give a damn. Just give him something to think about. Like, hey, who is this right here? What? Who is this? I don't remember him from the film. Who is this? Do we need to guard him and then let him blow your ass up the sideline? I don't care. I don't care. Just make them think about it. If it has to be Isaiah Horton, cool. If you need to put JoJo in for most of the drive and JoJo is picking them apart down the field, and then you put Isaiah Horton for a fade ball from the 10, I'm good with that. Just make this shit make sense and make them think about it. I don't care if that.
I think when Jameis Winston is your quarterback, I think when Jaden Daniels is your quarterback, that is something to think about. I think that is something to think about when your quarterback is a goddamn threat, and we haven't had it in a long time. You know what I'm saying? I think the problem starts from there, and everything else opens up. And we haven't had a guy like that in a while.
I agree. That, like I said, I just want it to be productive. I just want to see, like, yeah, I don't care if X and JG or even Horton get the lion's share of the snaps. I don't care. I just want to see them do something that's going to make other defensive coordinators think. We saw it. See, I wanted to punch a wall when I watched an orbit route win the Super Bowl. I don't know if I talked about that on this channel yet. I watched an orbit route win the Super Bowl with a guy who got traded from the team, spent most of the season off the team, comes back in the playoffs, and we shout out to my old troop. That's her cousin, Miko Hardman. He won the Super Bowl with an orbit route in overtime. It ain't fucking rocket science, people.
Easy play.
Tom and Jerry, whatever they called it, it's not rocket science.
Yeah, man. But look, I would love for Horton to start. Horton 6'4". Again, I just don't think his route running is gotten to where it should be. And that's why I'm like, man, I think JoJo gonna start because JoJo already is a better route runner than Horton. And he just got to college.
As he should be.
Nightcar, I mean, I don't know why people keep throwing Nightcar. I mean, I think Nightcar is good. I said Nightcar is probably the fastest receiver we've had since Jeff Thomas.
Oh, he's faster than Rashard?
What's he going to say? Now, the issue is Nightcar going to block? Because you got to block. You know what I'm saying? He's going to run the route the right way. I haven't seen him practice yet, but I'm just telling you what I've heard so far from them doing what they're doing. JoJo is looking like that guy already. So
what does that say? What does that say?
That's the word. That's the word that's coming out of camp. Yeah, when you ask, hey man, who's looking good?
What did that say for Robbie and Ray Ray?
Man, they say Ray Ray. You know, the one issue with Ray Ray too was him learning the right routes.
Oh, so he can catch everything. He's just not running the
yeah, he can catch the ball. Just got to get into the right spot to catch the ball. Robbie, they just got to get him on the field. He got to get on. He gonna have his opportunity this year.
X, have you heard anything about Robbie at cornerback?
Nah, they say he's still on the offensive side.
Have you heard anything about anybody switching positions or being tried somewhere else?
No, not yet. Nothing yet.
Outside of the offensive line, because we know they cross train.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, okay, so they was even. I guess they kind of flirting with the thought of Bobby Washington maybe switching to edge rusher because he's gotten so big.
How loaded that room is?
Bobby is 6'3.5", 230. It's 230. He's 230 right now.
I can see you playing him as
you like that? You
play him as a jack. Play him as a jack, but do not.
Okay, so Bobby. When I made that comparison about Bobby and Willie Williams, I thought it was the best comparison because I say, look, let them guys attack the guy with the football. I don't trust Bobby out there thinking that much. I trust Bobby to go after the football.
So you're basically saying he's a reiteration of Wesley Bassine.
Well, I think Wesley could think a lot better than him. But I think Bobby, if you say hike and the quarterback has the ball for 4 seconds, I think Bobby gonna kill him.
So you're saying just don't same I just said about offense, don't make it complicated.
Basically.
Third down and long, let Bobby go get the quarterback.
I mean, but you're going to have that same situation with Bobby and Malik Bryant because Malik Bryant is another one I don't want to be thinking. I want Malik Bryant to go after that quarterback.
And we still got Nigel Lee.
I mean, he's on straight defense, but yeah, we'll get on defense on Thursday. But yeah Robbie and Ray, I think they have the opportunity this year because they're both explosive.
Someone says Zach McCloud 2.0. What do you think about that? Not true freshman Zach McCloud, like my homeboys went to the league and they left me here, Zach McCloud.
The one guy I want to see the most this spring. The one guy I want to see the most this spring is Shamar Kirk. I want to see what he has. I was looking forward to seeing him play a lot last year, man. And he just let me down real bad. So I'm gonna see what he does this spring, man.
What you about to say, KB?
I said that was a good one when he was talking about putting Bobby at the edge, and Sean was saying think Marcus Robinson. I was like, that's a good comparison. If you put him at the edge, I don't want him at the edge, but that's a good comparison.
Like I said, that jack role that they kind of try to put Jafari in a little bit.
Yeah.
They try to put Cyrus Moss, but is Cyrus Moss in school?
You have to think for that role though, bro.
Nah, Cyrus Moss still ain't get picked up yet. I've heard UNLV was talking to him, but still hasn't got picked up yet.
Hate to see it.
He should have stayed here and switched to tight end. I mean,
he would have had.
If we talking about Jaleel Skinner couldn't play tight end, you know damn well he was not going to play no blocking tight end.
Well, he plays defense, so he kind of likes contact a lot more than Jaleel.
I would have rather him be. I would have rather him be a rangy safety. You know what I'm saying? If he has hips. Pause.
Yeah. So those two, so Cyrus Moss and Chaz Williams still hasn't been picked up in the portal yet.
That's unfortunate.
Who
we looking at for right? If he ain't called you yet, that's an issue though. Who we looking at for actually we won't talk about that tonight. I was gonna say who we looking at for punt returner because technically should be an offensive player, but
punt return, kick return. They got Ray Robbie back there, Nikar, Chris Johnson, and
what about my dog from the corner?
The Stafford.
Yeah, Robert Stafford. He getting played some burn.
Yeah. He was getting back there. Well, they said he's gonna be back there for special teams also.
Okay.
But yeah, you can see you're gonna see a lot of Ray and Chris Johnson back there.
Is Chance ain't there yet, right? Because Chance goes to
St. Thomas. Yeah.
I forgot Jordan Lyle ain't on campus either. Ooh wee.
Yeah, Jordan Lyle not there. Chance Robinson not there. Underbag, he's not there. Who else? It was what four St. Thomas guys, I think. Oh, and Ryan Mack not there. Yeah, so
you said Frederick too, right?
And when Chance, yeah, Frederick too, yeah. When Chance get on campus, I think Chance gonna push for some playing time. If you see Chance right now, you'll swear Chance either in college or in the NFL. Chance's body is like 6'2", 220.
For the people
already.
For the people that keep saying, like, every time we say, hey man, JoJo might start and Horton may be fighting for a position, then they be like, where Ray at, man? Well, what's gonna happen with Robbie? Dog, remember the days when we had Roscoe Parrish, Devin Hester, Darnell Jenkins, Lance Leggett, Rashawn Jones, Sonoris Moss, Ryan Moore, all on one team? Y'all remember them days?
That's what I said about the running backs earlier, Street. You was out of here. That's a good problem to have. You want a stable, so you make. But if you're smart, like I said, as an OC, you make a defensive coordinator guess every play who that ball is going to next. If a guy gets in the rhythm, let him get into the rhythm. Let him do his thing, right? Like Rich and Kibbe was doing. But
you got options at wide receiver. You got options at running back. Options at tight end. Dawson is like basically in heaven. He like, man,
he a kid in the candy store.
If this doesn't work for Dawson, man, yeah, you the issue there. If anything, I mean, damn.
Oh, look at this one. Travis Benjamin, Darius Johnson, Theron Collier, LaRon Bird, Devon Johnson, Kendall Tompkins, Leonard Hankerson, Tommy Streeter. Y'all remember them days?
Yes, I do.
You had options.
when Airman met me, that was one of my favorite teams to watch, man.
Hey, so Streeter, go back to Amar Richards' first year. Remember when Coach Rick got here? Coach Rick was like, man, this team ain't got no speed. What the hell is speed at? And they had to take for Amar Richards, a true freshman, to come in and have speed.
What year was that?
That had to be maybe
15, 14,
15 or 16, one of those.
2000 and
you had Amar Richards, Stacy Coley, and then you had
wasn't Jeff Thomas on that team too?
Well, look at this. Stacy Coley, Philip Dorsett, Herb Waters, Malcolm Lewis got hurt. Then you had Rashawn Scott, Darrell Langham had a big catch, Braxton Berrios, Tyree Brady. Tyree Brady left and balled out somewhere else, didn't he?
He left and went to balled at Marshall.
I think he made it to the league too.
Yeah, he went to the league also.
And they ain't making camps, but we had Sam Bruce and Mullins hanging out in the background.
And look, that was the freshman class that Rick brought in with Sam Bruce, Mullins, Amar Richards.
Yep. Could you imagine three of them hit the field at the same time? With Brad Kai as the quarterback?
And I always thought
4 or 5 of those guys on that team went to the NFL. They ain't all stay long, but they went.
And this is going to be crazy to say, but I kind of JoJo reminds me of Deontay Mullins a little bit in terms of just being an athlete. I think Mullins was that guy who could make acrobatic catches and could really surprise you with his play. I think JoJo's kind of like that too.
Yeah, let's just say the catches, because JoJo is far superior athlete than Mullins.
Charles King said JoJo's a Tad Johnson type.
So,
damn.
So X, we had Stacey Coley, Braxton Berrios, Malcolm Lewis, Lawrence Cager, Amari Richards, Darrell Langham, Dante Mullins, and Sam Bruce.
Remember Malcolm Jenkins?
And I skipped a bunch of people. Y'all remember Danielle Harris?
Dale Harris? Yep.
Aaron Carney. Chad. I skipped all of them. Chad Allen, Austin. Huh?
Harry wasn't that the JUCO guy, right?
Yeah, he was a JUCO guy. He was on that Last Chance U documentary. He beat the team. He beat Last Chance U in the championship.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So damn, we so far from this. We don't forgot what the rosters used to look like, huh? Damn. We used to have 3 good wide receivers.
And I would agree with JoJo looking like Stacey Coley. I would.
Man, one year it was so bad at receiver, man. We had to rely just to throw the ball to the tight ends only.
I want y'all to think about this. Go ahead,
you look at the name. You look at them names you called off. Like I said, 4 or 5 of those guys went to the NFL. That was the year he came in and he got rid of Beard and brought in Dugans and shit. That was a fucking mistake. But
I don't know. I don't think production in the Dugans was bad.
Bro, I remember all that shit, bro. It wasn't
KB. It wasn't KB production, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't fucking.
You had a lot of guys that didn't. Yeah, you had a lot of guys that didn't develop really. Jeff Thomas was one of them.
For sure.
Dugans was the drop. Mark Pope and your boy was dropping the ball, right?
Yeah, Pope and Wiggins and
D Wiggins.
Yeah.
Whoever else. Yeah, that was Dugans, man.
Man, Lamar Thomas was just in there with me and Hayes, right? Real fast before we got here. And we were talking about 7-on-7. I was telling how I seen guys get stars in 7-on-7. I saw Mark Pope get his 4th star or 5th star after balling out in the 7-on-7 game. And then Lamar Thomas said, and then you see what Mark Pope went and did at Miami. I said, damn, dog. Yeah, do it like that.
That will never make sense to me.
What?
Getting stars at camps. I mean, shout out to Luke Nickel because he just got his 4th star from a camp. But that's insane to me.
No, I mean, but maybe it really isn't. A lot of things go down in shirts and shorts in football. Think about it. The combine. Every time these coaches ask you to come to their school, you're in shirts and shorts. And there's a lot of things that happen in shirts and shorts in football. I don't know why we should look at 7-on-7 and act like you can't evaluate a guy in 7-on-7. Most of the time, the coach see you got on shirts and shorts.
I understand that. What I'm saying is, it seems like we're playing almost too much. It's almost like we're getting lazy because we assume that because they're playing against a equal level, equal caliber of talent in the 7-on-7 circuit, that then translates to pads and helmets, and we obviously see it doesn't. Like 7-on-7, you could be an all-star there because you don't have as skewed of a field of vision, you don't have as much equipment, you really wearing boxes and a fucking wife beater, if we're being honest, and gloves and shit and cleats. Like you can do a lot of things that you would not necessarily do in a actual football game with pads and I get it, right? The thought process is, oh, he's doing this against Cam Newton team, and they the number 1 team in the minute. They got the number 1 cornerback according to us. That must mean he's definitely worth the 3rd star. Like, but at the same time, it's like your job should be in theory to evaluate tape. Like you go and evaluate film. Now, granted, a film
I've seen guys that were good on 7-on-7 and then wouldn't go across the middle and tackle. I've seen it before. I could name a kid right now, but I won't do that. But look at the other side of it, Mehdi. Jeremiah Smith dominates tackle, right? What do you think he does in 7-on-7?
He better dominate 7-on-7.
Right. So if you saw Jeremiah Smith dominate 7-on-7, you wouldn't look at that kid and be like, I bet that motherfucker could play with pads on. What if you saw it the first way? What if the first time you saw him was in 7-on-7? See, the first time I saw Travis Rudolph, I didn't know who he was. And he was dominating. He was out of West Palm. They had a team up. He had a white T-shirt on, and he was out there murking people. And he was 5'9" with a big head. He didn't even look like he looked, but they could not do anything with him. And I didn't know who he was. I asked Larry Bluestein, and he said, "Oh, that's Travis Rudolph." So what I'm saying is it flips the other way. What you're saying is true, but the other thing is that, yeah, JoJo dominates 7-on-7. And it doesn't change when he puts a helmet on.
That's all I care about. Yeah, if it's equal on both sides, yes.
For the most part, a lot of people forget that 7-on-7 is for the skill positions. And they think just because they don't see an offensive line or defensive line or linebackers out there, they say, oh, well, you can't evaluate it that much. Well, it's for the skill positions. It's for the receiver to go out there and beat a guy one-on-one. It's for the cornerback to try to stop the top receiver.
You're right, X. You're right. Right.
That's what it was
a clown, man.
So it just got put into a different trajectory because now you're getting a lot of people more involved in it. Now you got Cam Newton involved. Cam Newton is one of the most famous people in America. So guess what? Everybody's looking at it more now. It's not just, oh, well, damn, but every receiver just dogged somebody. Oh, no, that's Cam Newton team.
For sure. And I think you talked about earlier. We talked about with KB being on South Florida. I think it's a fantastic pivot into actual coaching pads and helmets. What I'm saying is, if y'all saying a guy's dominating in both realms, right? 7-on-7 and what's called, that should unequivocally be your 5 stars. I get that. But I think that's the whole point of these travel teams, stuff like that. And obviously there's gonna be guys who get missed because a guy didn't go to a 7-on-7 tryout because he had, calculus homework, but he gets picked up on maybe a sorrier team, but he's the best player on the team. He may not get that 5th star because the team sucked. So that's why I said the assessment ain't fair. The same way he might go play at, I don't know, Miami High, and he's the one guy. What's my man name? The quarterback that was like 5'9" that played for Miami High.
Roscoe Parrish.
We'll go with him, but that's not. I'm talking about more recent. But he goes there and he balls out at Miami High, but you don't give him a fair shot because he never played against bigger competition, right? That's why the transfer portal in high school, as I'll call it, is so prominent now because people want to go where they think they're gonna be successful. In a lot of cases, even they sit on the bench, they're like, I'll just wait my turn, rather than going up the street to Edison and not getting a fair shot, right? So I just think that these guys gotta do better at their evaluation. I'm not saying what y'all saying is wrong. I agree with it in some extent. I'm just saying that I think the whole evaluation circuit has gotten lazy.
You bring up something else.
Let me ask you this, right, Matty? Knowing what you know about Chance Robinson, on 7-on-7, and he's doing what he's doing, you saying, okay, he deserves the 4-star, right?
Chance is a 4-star, right?
Yeah, he's a 4-star.
He is a 4-star.
Okay, so when you go look at his team, his season, you saying, well, damn, but Chance didn't have 800, 900,000 yards receiving, but he's still a 4-star though, right?
No, I'm agreeing with your point. I'm saying that his 7-on-7 work probably got him that 4-star, but also Chance was that guy on St. Thomas Aquinas on offense. Like we understand that the running back Jordan Lau and Chance Robinson and Dia Bell was most of their offense. So that's proving my point. Like what Street said, is on both rounds. But St. Thomas, well, they won a state championship, didn't they?
Yeah. They won.
So that's even a moot point because then that's even further in emphasizing the point because they ended up dominating on 7-on-7 and then dominating in the actual granted against lesser schools. You know what I'm saying? But St. Thomas is a powerhouse year in and year out. They go to other places and do their thing, right? So that's where you see that fair evaluation. What you about to say, Rich? My fault.
No, I was about to say the thing that gets lost with kids now going to all these 7-on-7s is the fact that in college, you're an athlete first, student second, but when you're in high school, you're trying to qualify to get into college. So that's kind of the problem I had. Like when you brought up a kid who probably got calculus homework to do, now it's going to be like, well, I ain't going to take no AP classes. And, that way I got a year of college knocked out because I got to go to all these 7-on-7s or I'm not going to get recruited. I think that's a problem. But just like you mentioned, Mehdi, it's also a problem if, listen, that kid was going to Miami High, right? And he had 900 yards at Miami High, but he was 6'2", 200 pounds. I mean, now they're like, well, you're gonna make him a 3-star instead of a 4-star because he chose to do that and have a 4.8 GPA and already have 3 semesters under his belt when he goes to college. So it's ways to look at it. It's good and bad. I do like having the evaluation with the kids, but at the same time, you got to think about at what cost, because that same kid who went to all them 7-on-7s, like a Mark Pope, right, could get to that next level and not pan out for you. So now it's bad for you. It's bad for the kid.
But the fact is, he got the opportunity, though, right? That's all. That's what it's for. For that kid who's not going to get the opportunity seen with his team, because maybe his team got some dumb coaches who don't know how to coach or who don't know how to get kids scholarships. I go play for the 7-on-7 team who got people who can do that for me.
Yeah,
now,
but you get the
reason why 7-on-7 has gotten bad is these teams start letting these parents get involved. Now the parents is sitting on the field. The parents is talking shit to the coaches and talking shit to the players. It started getting more personal. It started becoming like, guess what? AAU basketball. Because they saying, the parents saying, let me create an AAU team, and I got my son and all his friends on one team. Now it gets personal because they lose it. That's why 7-on-7 is bad. 7-on-7, when it first started, it was great because it was giving players who didn't have that outlet to get recruited by other top schools the ability to get recruited now. So when people say, well, it's not good, no, it's good for them. A lot of kids ain't got the money to go around college football visits and all that.
Once again,
for some coaches who just trash as far as getting them into college.
No, I absolutely agree. I'm saying from that, I'm talking about the evaluation standpoint. That's it. I agree. 7-on-7 is absolutely and it helps you find some gems in disguise. I think 7-on-7 is a safety valve for a lot of these guys to get them into a front of lot. Like when I hear about Cam Newton team winning that championship and then going to Miami campus later, that's what the hell it's supposed to be about, right? Because a high school coach may not have that time during the season. And quite frankly, they don't get paid for that. I thought it got to start getting corrupted when those guys that are coaching these 7-on-7 teams got other people involved with the team. Maybe that's not a coach, and they're getting paid by schools to kind of push kids towards the school, or like you said, those parents that are just doing way too much and getting overly involved with the process. That's what I had an issue with. But my biggest issue, my original point, was that the evaluation services, I feel like they're getting lazy and not doing just due by truly evaluating a guy from start to finish. I feel like the last person I seen him actually do that with was Brandon Ennis. And maybe Jeremiah, that Ravens team. But one player exclusively from cradle to grave was Brandon Ennis. I feel like he's the last guy that got actually evaluated from top to bottom, beginning to end, his whole high school career. And it wasn't just 7-on-7; it was everything. When he went to university school to when he transferred.
Ennis was good. Ennis was playing varsity since he was in middle school. So it was kind of hard to not evaluate him when he was better than most of the motherfuckers who was in 12th grade when he was in 8th grade.
Yeah,
it was kind of hard. So I mean, it is what it is. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's as a coach, is you supposed to get that kid on your campus and you develop that kid.
In theory, yeah.
Some gonna develop, some not gonna develop. That's just how it is in college. I mean, how it is in life. That's life, period. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah, 707. I look when I seen that video, I instantly knew two things. I say, man, Cam Newton was either talking some shit or Cam Newton was talking some shit. I like, man, nobody's just running up on Cam Newton like that. You know what I'm saying? He had to really be talking some shit. And the story that came out was Cam Newton was talking some shit. To the same guys who used to coach with him. They all used to coach together.
Right.
On that 7-on-17.
Gotcha.
That was TJ Rahman, former Duke wide receiver. I think he played for Duke, TJ Rahman. That's his team, TSP. The name of the team is TSP.
This is before or after the game?
Oh, it's Sunday, so it had to be after the games. They say they beat Cam Newton them Saturday, which 7-on-7. Motherfuckers lose and win and lose and win. And they said Cam Newton was talking shit like XA, just talking. But Cam Newton is always talking. You gotta be around it. Like he's always talking. His cameras are always on. Now I'm gonna tell you this: if those cameras was rolling, and he got the footage of this fight, and he's just gonna wait to put it on one of his podcasts or make a mini documentary or whatever he's about to do. I mean, this is the evolution of media, bro, and people taking advantage. He won, yeah. Make a long story short.
You don't gotta make it so short. He was little boy and grown men out there. Like you don't attack 6'5", 240. I don't give a hell who you think you are. Like this man threw defensive linemen to the ground in the NFL. What your 5'8", 200-pound ass think he was about to do?
Yeah, I think they knew him. I think they used to be with him. They was with his 7-on-17, and like any good 7-on-17, it always like the Gremlins births two other 7-on-17s with coaches who think they can do as good. Every time.
You're right.
It births like two other 7-on-17s, and so they know each other. So not anybody is going to just punch Cam. It had to be some real boiling beef. You know what I'm saying?
Someone who took shit personally.
Yeah, I don't think Cam threw a punch. I think he just stiff-armed and
he was just throwing dudes.
Yeah, I didn't see him throw a punch.
I'll say this: if he does not stay coaching 7-on-7, he has a fantastic future as nightclub security.
Well, I mean, on that note, let's
it's not a good look for the company, right? All right, we supposed to be jumping somebody. Y'all carry like a youth league basketball. All right, now, Peter. I told you you've been slacking for way too long. All right, and you finally got hemmed up. Take a look at your feet, son. Got the same problem as the Carolina Panthers. Instability. All right, here comes Davis with the Pearl Harbor sneak attack. Oh, my God. Cam Newton's face is wide open like Ben Simmons at the three-point line. It'd be a piece of cake. I'll probably just knock him out, finally be successful at something in my life. Pew, pew. Damn, never mind. I only got 2 hits like Cisco, and just like one of them hits, the job is incomplete. I barely took off 1 health point. All right, now take a look at Larissa. She ain't come here for all this. She gets out faster than a snitch. Speaking of snitch, take a look at Miss Kathy. She points the cops in the right direction and heads off. She got to get to Trader Joe's before they close. All right, back to the action. All right, take a look at Davis. Getting thrown around like a racial slur at an NRA convention. Oh, my God. It's Cam Newton. I watch him use the Freddie Gibbs offense to carry the Auburn Tigers to the national championship. And now he's carrying me. It's all come full circle, like a circle jerk.
That's crazy.
You can't beat him. He's like Donald Trump. All right, now, once again, take a look at your feet, Peters. All right, you ain't stood on 10 your whole life or in this fight one time. Y'all look like the Z fighters before Goku pull up. And that's all right, because there's going to be some changes, all right, with this company. Some of y'all ain't going to be with us much longer. All right, now I got to call the customer. Let them know that we failed.
Man.
ProJumpers.com.
And I don't hear nothing you got to say. I already saw the video. Man, put my deposit back in my account by tomorrow. That's supposed to be pro jumpers. You want something done right?
Oh, I just caught the Brock Purdy. I missed that the first time.
That's what I said the first time, bro.
Yeah.
That Purdy
I missed
was
it.
hilarious.
I heard
does
that. I
Purdy have to do with
didn't
that?
know what y'all got to. What
does Purdy have to do with that?
He's trying to say Purdy hired those guys.
I get it, but what
Remember he
beef?
called- he
Oh,
called-
yeah,
he
yeah,
called-
yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Game
he
manager.
called-
Yeah, you're right. Game manager.
Hilarious, dog. Somebody said Studio Live said ain't that funny, dog. That is funny, dog. That's one of the funniest ones I've seen in a while, dog. Y'all ready to get out of here, man?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate y'all, man. Space on Wednesday with X. Next week,
We got to
man.
do defense, right? We got to
Yeah,
do defense. That's
doing,
it's Monday. Defense doesn't go down this week, right?
Yeah, defense is on Thursday.
We do defense on Thursday.
Okay.
Space on Wednesday. Hey, practice one. Spring practice Monday. So appreciate y'all being in here, man. Hit the like button on your way out, please. We appreciate it. Helps to grow the channel. If you ain't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. X, last thoughts. He's looking at his phone. Rich, last thoughts.
We gonna see what we got at the offensive line position. In last season, offensive line got an A+. So I give it a C+ because I know that's a part of the team that you got to be a unit on. So it's new pieces to that puzzle. I know that it's a great offensive line coach. I just want to see what it looks like. When I see what it looks like, then we could talk about that A- range, and then of course the season gonna start. So I'm not bad mouthing the O-line at all. I'm just being real in terms of they were great last season, so we're gonna see if they can live up to that again.
Hey man, stand on that shit, man. You know what you said. Fuck all that. What were they talking about? KB, last thoughts.
Last thoughts. Beautiful competition on Spring Tree. Got a lot of options. It's gonna be beautiful, beautiful competition, and I'm looking forward to it. That's it.
X, what's your last thoughts? You was on the phone.
My last thoughts about the offense.
Yeah, in general.
I'm excited, man. If what I'm hearing is Mario's gonna allow that man to unleash, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Like we said, space on Wednesdays, 6:30.
7:30.
7:30. My fault. 7:30. Thursday we'll be back live. We appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all being here. Once again, hit the like, follow on all socials, subscribe. We about this thing.